Welcome to Stu Show. If you'd like to take part in today's simulcast, send your questions to comments@StuShow.com. Previous programs can be viewed and downloaded by visiting the website www.StuShow.com. Just click on the archives link and you'll gain access to over 500 conversations with actors, writers, producers, directors, authors, and TV historians. Help Stu Showstack preserve the legacy of classic television by becoming a Stu Show VIP. Your monthly contribution to this program ensures its future and provides you with exclusive perks along the way, including complimentary downloads and unlimited free viewings of past broadcasts, plus an endless supply of rare vintage television programs from the 1950s through the 1970s that stream on demand. These rewards are available only to Stu Show VIPs, and it's easy to become one. Membership is maintained via the show's online partner, Patreon. For more information, just click on the Stu Show VIP banner at the top of the main page. And thanks for your support. Live audio broadcasting for Stu Show is provided by Voscast. Live video broadcasting and pay-per-view on demand are provided by Decast. Streaming as a service.
Simulcast live from Chatsworth, California, it's Stu's Show. Unrehearsed, uncensored, up-close and personal conversations with top celebrities from the world of television, both in front of and behind the cameras. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's your host, Stu Showstack.
Oh my goodness. And I'm taking my glasses off. Thank you. And in-studio applause. And we're going to be applauding our in-studio guests the whole day, too. We've got a great show in store for you. A little different today. We're not going to really be talking too much classic television, probably. Well, we are. We're going to talk a little bit because our guests have all been employed by that at one point or another. But the bulk of the show is going to be something different. I don't know if you guys can see this little boo-boo on my face here. Can you see that? The boo-boo gets applause. A little skin, a little skin pigmentation started to form the other day, and I forgot I was doing a show today, so I went, and that's what happened. So I'm going to keep these on for most of the days because I need them.
Without touching his face.
Without touching my face.
Yeah, you just did that.
That's how much the filth is in this house here. Anyway, welcome. What is this? This Wednesday, May 2nd. May 2nd. Thank you, guys. See, I have three producers here in addition to three guests that are going to help me get through this today.
We produce garbage.
Garbage. You can see I'm going to have total control here today, can't you? You know what? I had a whole thing prepared. I'm just going to get into this. I'm going to take the prepared thing here and just get right into this because one of our guests has to leave at 6:15, and I want to try to get the show done by then so you guys aren't glued to your TVs and your tablets and your cell phones and your computers, and because you have other things to do tonight too. So, as I said, we have a very different kind of show for you. We're not really saluting classic television today. We're actually saluting classic comedy shorts. Give me a new. Yes, okay, we're getting an applause in the shorts, but then again, we're not really saluting classic comedy shorts. We're saluting comedy shorts that were made recently, but are considered classic because not only are they, now this is how I get my bread and butter here, because not are they also cleverly written, cleverly acted,
thank you,
and cleverly directed.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
But if you didn't know better, and I know you do, you'd think that they were made during the classic comedy shorts era of the 1930s. That is their intent.
We like to think of them as future classics.
Okay, notice I haven't put the camera on any of them yet.
And
okay,
you're better off for it.
Yeah.
Some of them.
These comedy shorts feature a couple of comedic boobs, a la Abbott and Costello. Will just put his drink down. Abbott and Costello, Laurel and Hardy, and Wheeler and Woolsey, who are known to movie. These guys, though, are known to movie audiences as, now they can applaud, Biffle and Shooster. There, gave you the two. Okay.
I love those guys.
And their complete comedy short antics are coming to DVD later this month via Kino Lorber Video. They're the ones that took a chance on these guys, and they're not going to be sorry. Now that I have you totally confused, and I know I do, because we're talking about classic comedy shorts that were actually produced in the last few years, but they took place in the 1930s, were they made in the 1930s? Now that I've totally got you confused, I'm going to give you a look at the official trailer. The official trailer! All right. For the Misadventures of Biffle and Shooster that will either confuse you more or clear things up quite nicely. I report, you decide. Okay? Let's take a look. The DVD does not want to... There it goes. Now it's cooperating. Take a look now, and you tell me whether you like these guys or not. Here's the trailer.
Who are we? B-I-F-F-Biffle Biffle. S-H-O-O-Ooster Shooster.
Biffle and Shooster.
Need we say more?
The last job we had, we were so funny you could hear the laughter across the street.
Really? What was playing across the street? Oh, a doctor, eh? Say, Doc, it hurts when I go like this. So don't go like this.
We lost everything in the crash, including father. Heart attack at 46.
I had U.S. Steel at 110.
8 years I've been working my fingers to the bone, and what do I get? If you say bony fingers, I'll kill you.
We happen to be sensational. Did you see our last show?
I sure hope so. I find this whole setup highly suspicious.
Highly suspicious. Isn't that the guy from Ethiopia?
This man is barely one step above an ape.
There's nothing surer. The rich get rich and the poor get children. In the meantime, in between time, ain't we got fun? Oh, ain't we got... Coming soon. Check your local newspaper for showtimes. Yeah!
Could this day get any worse?
Well, I thought it was funny. It's very funny. Damn it, it's funny. You're going to love this show. You're going to love these shorts. You all get the idea now, right? It's a novel way of not only paying homage to the great comedy short subjects of the past, but it's also a way to make brand new comedies in the style of the old ones. Give me a new. See what I'm saying? We're going to get the whole story today about all of these films from the producer, director, and the co-writer of the films, who will discuss the concept all the way to the finished productions, from concept to finished productions, and from the actors themselves, who not only created the characters but co-wrote the scripts. Both of them have long, successful careers in television, stage feature films, and voiceover artistry, and music. Music, of course. First, let's welcome back to the program the producer and director of these films, former Sony's Picture Studios Vice President, Mr. Michael Schlesinger.
On the vice.
Co-writer. Hang on, I'm queuing up the applause for our next victim here. Thank you for arranging this. To get these two guys together is next to impossible because they're always working.
Well, you know, I didn't want to be here alone because then I'd be a lone arranger.
He said, "Get the rim shot ready." Now, I'm going to ask you about the distribution of this DVD and other events. I'm honored, though, that the three of you. This is really the first. This is the unveiling, the start of the publicity tour for the three of you. Am I right about that?
For the most part. I mean, we've been active on social media for a while. I actually started a Twitter account for Biffle and Shooster, and I had an Instagram account which I never actually used, but I am using it now for Biffle and Shooster.
Okay.
And of course Facebook.
All right. And you're the one that has to leave us about 6:15 tonight. So
I'm going to check. I have to go tonight. Tonight is the final night of the LA Jewish Film Festival, and I'm going to be moderating a panel after a screening
And
of...
performing a circumcision.
Exactly. With my teeth.
Wow.
But without Carl Reiner.
Talk about the skin of your teeth.
For a movie
I'm keeping the camera off them until they're properly introduced.
Thornton Wilder.
But no, it's the HBO documentary, If You're Not in the Obit, Eat Breakfast. Which
That's with Carl Reiner and
Yes.
Dick Van Dyke and
Yeah.
Arlene Van Dyke and all of those old people.
Exactly, and I'm in
Arlene's
it
not old.
interviewing Carl. And we were hoping Carl could come tonight, because what could be more meta than me interviewing Carl Reiner after a movie in which I interview Carl Reiner?
That's right. You're in the movie
I'm in-
interviewing him at the
Yeah.
Writers Guild Theater.
No,
right?
at the Arrow.
At the Arrow. At the
Yeah.
Arrow. Yeah. Okay.
On my birthday.
Okay. So you've killed about 6 minutes talking about this.
Yeah.
And now you have to stay 6 minutes longer.
Okay.
All right.
Well, it all depends on traffic.
Yeah. Okay. That's right. And traffic wasn't too bad coming out here from Sherman Oaks. was
No, but it'll be rush hour when I leave.
it? Yeah, because people will be seeing you and they'll be rushing to get out of the way. Does this work for you? Okay. That's about the extent. Look, I'm not
Don't
even going
quit
to
your day
attempt.
job.
I am not even going to attempt to try to top what we've got in this room today. But Michael, thank you for arranging this.
Well, thank you
And
for having us.
Thank you for producing this masterpiece. These 5 shorts that are now strung together as a feature. Do we call it a feature, or is it still 5 shorts compiled on a DVD?
No. Well, what it is, and we changed the title slightly. The DVD, which we call the Misadventures of Biffle and Shooster, is comprised of all the shorts individually with their own sets of end credits, and then a ton of the extras actually run longer than the shorts themselves.
Yeah.
And then we have the feature version, which will be the one that's available for streaming and download. That's the Adventures of Biffle and Shooster. And that's why it says Adventures on the trailer, not Misadventures. And that will be 4 shorts plus a few of the bonus things. And that's going to be streaming, download, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So that's not everything. If you want everything, you have to get the DVD.
Okay, and the DVD is like $20, right?
Well, let's see. You can pre-order it now at your favorite online retailer, but Amazon is actually at the cheapest. It's I think
$18.99?
18 something like
Very
that.
good year.
87. Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Okay, these guys are itching to be introduced. Either that, or we're never going to see them.
Well,
so
get some lotion.
Okay, that's what you're in store for today. So let me start with Biffle first. Okay.
No, this would be Shooster.
First of the 2 stars of the film, live and in person here, a gentleman who has had extensive stage acting on Broadway. This man has been on Broadway a lot, as well as television and in movies. These are just some of his credits include appearing in both the 2005 remake of The Producer's feature, give me another room, as well as the stage touring company of the same property. Worked for Mr. Mel Brooks for 5 years.
5 years,
At
and I
least-
was with all 3 companies.
All 3 companies.
Broadway and 2.
Now, for you Disneyland fans, though, get this. He was the genie in the Disneyland stage version of Aladdin. Give me another ooh.
The original one.
The original, the one that played at California Adventure when it opened, right?
Right.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mr. Benny Biffle himself, Mr. Nick Santamaria.
Howdy, folks! Hello and welcome. Hello.
Now you got to put the hat on, show him that you're really Biffle, because he does kind of look different without. There he is, right there. All right. Thank you, sir. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed the eyes. Do the Marty Ingalls thing again so they can see it. See? All right. Yes, there you
How's
go.
that?
I've got the alternate switcher today, so you're going to see lots
The
of
alternate switcher.
The production of today's show is going to be just as funny as the show itself. You know, you have said to me on Facebook many times, I'd love to do your show. I'd love to do your show. Here you are.
Yeah, here I am.
Here you are.
Just like a return of like the flu.
Yes.
And
yes.
here I am.
Yeah, here you are. Let's do your plugs. What you just did not too long ago. The hair, very good. Yeah.
Plugs, yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
You just did a play in Santa Barbara not too long ago.
Yeah, I did an adaptation of a Woody Allen movie called Husbands and Wives.
That's right.
And it was a beautiful production, I thought. I mean, Michael, you came out to see it?
I did indeed.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting.
I saw it as well, and I thought it was rather grand.
You were there
Yes, I was.
closing night. Yes, but I want to also say that I am the co-writer, composer, lyricist of the show Real Men the Musical, which was off Broadway at the New World Stages.
Oh my!
in New
I
York
didn't
City.
know that. See, I was
Yeah.
talking to both of these guys before the show, and I said we're only going to touch on your careers lightly today because, after all, the emphasis is to get the word out on the DVD. But you said you'd come back and do a full show with me.
Sure, if you just say the
In fact,
word.
the first time I saw Nick was on Broadway. He led me to my seat and handed me a playbill.
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and I've got my work cut
And
out
got
for
no
me with
tips,
this.
by the way.
Yes.
You with the circumcisions.
which he hasn't
I'll
done
be
at all
falling
here.
asleep, folks.
Animation buffs know this gentleman is one of the top guys in the business in that field. He started out as a fine singer and became a regular contributor to Disneyland Records. That must mean you know Jim Megan. Moving his way into animation over there in such shows as he's already asleep and I haven't even introduced him. Such shows as DuckTales, Gummy Bears, House of Mouse, Dumbo Circus, and many others outside of Disney. He's worked on G.I. Joe, Garfield and Friends, Teddy Ruxpin, and tons more. Nick, if you can wake him up, it is a pleasure to have him here. Ladies and gentlemen, Sammy Schuster, Mr. Will Ryan.
Will, money. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir. Are you awake now?
Yes.
I love the Bud Abbott mustache.
Thank you.
Yes.
I grew it just for this.
You
and the play I'm doing.
Yeah.
What's the play you're doing?
3 Men on a Moose.
Wait a minute here.
Takes place in Alaska.
Yes. Okay. Well, let's get your plug. First of all, thank you for being here. You're very hard to get a hold of because you're
He's
always
ticklish.
working. Yes.
Slippery too.
Where is Will Ryan working these days? You're singing all over the place. And
singing all over the place.
Tell us, kind sir, with your lovely 1930s hat.
Let's see. I'm doing 3 radio shows next week of something called Adventures in Odyssey.
Oh.
I'm doing some kind of convention this weekend in Los Angeles at the convention center. I think it's a toy convention. I don't know.
Okay.
And the Autry in 2 weeks.
Now that'll be a singing gig, right? At
Yes.
the Autry.
That'll be the Cactus County
because
Cowboys.
he is a singing cowboy, ladies and gentlemen.
That's correct.
As you can see, and you're going to see a sample of that later today too. An absolute pleasure to have you here, sir.
Likewise.
Okay, I am going to get thumbnail descriptions of your careers as we press along here today. The bulk of the show, though, is going to be on Biffle and Shooster. Let me recap with Mr. Schlesinger, though, about the DVD. What is the official day it comes out?
The official, it streets, as they say in the biz, on May 22nd, which is less than 3 weeks from now.
Okay.
But you can pre-order it now at the online.
Which is a wise idea.
Online retailer of your choice, but we believe Amazon has it at the lowest price right now.
Okay. Any other personal appearances that the three of you are doing together to promote this extravaganza?
Well, I think we're appearing at the LA Garbage Dump next week.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right.
And I will
It's a
be
private event.
I will be at Cinevent over Memorial Day weekend. It's the 50th Cine event. It's a classic film festival held in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
And we'll be showing the Biffle murder case, and I'll be selling and copies of the DVD and signing them if people don't mind having it devalued.
Okay. Are there any other places that the movie will be screening prior to the advent of the DVD being released when people can then watch it on their own screens?
Probably, well, not in the immediate future that I know of. It's, this is...
Limited release. Very limited.
Yeah, well, I don't want to go into details, but due to some music licensing rights, we were not really able to do a full theatrical release.
Oh, my.
So, but here and there, the shorts may pop up individually now and then.
I gotcha very well. Let me see here. You have been on the show a few times in the past.
Yes.
This is the first time we've got you with Nick and Will. So I think before we dive into the whole Biffle and Shooster thing, we will talk to each of these gentlemen individually and just find out a little bit more about their careers. Are you okay with that?
I can go to the bathroom.
Oh, no, well, I don't want you to do that because you'll block the camera.
Be sure to leave when you do.
Guys,
The cameras won't be the only thing that's
go over
blocked
to
if I don't
Nick
go to the bathroom.
As he's trying to push the show along because Michael has to leave in a little less than 2 hours. So you are, sir, an actor and a producer and a lyricist.
So he claims.
I'm actually in the past acting. I've been a stand-up comedian. I've been a composer, a lyricist, a writer, an author, a teacher of film history, and what else? And I make a hell of an omelet.
Oh, well, very good. Did you enjoy your meal at the deli?
It was delicious.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stu. That was so good.
Go ahead.
I just want to say hello to Shiksa Ravelli.
She's a Facebook friend.
Yeah, oh yeah, she's my buddy. Mr. Gilmore, how are you? And
Andrew Gilmore is another friend.
And all my
Why
pals
don't we just
out
say
there.
hello to everybody?
Hi,
for the next
everybody,
2
my
hours. Okay.
Facebook fans.
No, this
people.
is the story. This is
Yeah.
the story I want you to tell here
Yeah.
because we don't have a lot of time and we got to get into the meat and potatoes of Biffle and Shooster. It was because of your work on Aladdin. I found this out at lunch. Your work on Aladdin is how you got the job with Mel Brooks?
Yes, I was doing...
Tell us!
I opened the show and helped... In fact, I helped write the show, Aladdin, which ran 13 years, by the way.
Now, you did this. This is a full-fledged stage that people sit in a theater to watch this.
This was a 2,000-seater theater.
I counted them.
The Hyperion. You counted them, right?
That's right. Yeah.
You still have the
by
clicker.
actual count.
Yeah. Dracula helped him. And whatchamacallit, and I did it for about 10 months, and just around that time, somebody from the producers, the show The Producers, which was the biggest show in the world at the time, saw me, and next thing I knew, I was in the makeup chair one morning, and I got a letter from the casting director saying, "We want to see you in New York, blah, 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 blah." I went. The next thing I knew, I was working for Mel Brooks for 5 years.
That is incredible.
The contract was kind of history-making because they had to get permission from Actors Equity to make me available for all 3 companies that were out there in the United States. There were 2 road companies, National Tours, and Broadway. So they would fly me wherever they needed me to perform. I learned about 22 tracks.
Wow. How many actors made it from the stage version to the movie in 2005?
Most of us.
Most of you did.
When I see the movie, and I think I've only seen it once, it's
That's about enough.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too. Oh, I have stories.
No, the original is great. I'll look at that.
No, the original is fine.
Yeah, the musical is fine.
No. Lou Stadlin said she managed to make a moving picture without any movement. Whatchamacallit? It's like a class reunion. When I'm watching the movie, is, oh my God, there's Kathy Fitzgerald, there's so-and-so, there's so-and-so. Wow. So it's kind of fun. She used a lot of
Now,
us.
contractually, though, you had to change your skin color, right,
yes, I did.
to do this.
I'm originally plaid.
Yeah. No, but for Disney's, you were blue.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
You mean because I was blue as the genie?
Yes, right.
Yes,
they were relieved.
I was the
really?
genie.
You had blue makeup on?
Oh my goodness! Every morning I had to go to makeup, and it took about 45. Actually, the first test took 4.5 hours. And they eventually got it down to 45 minutes. And I had to wear a bald cap, and he had to, what's it called when you...
Spray?
It was a spray. It was a spray, but it's something they do to pictures, to photographs.
They spray it.
Whatever.
Airbrush.
Yeah. Airbrush. They would airbrush me, and it was the most god-awful experience of my life. They'd have to put that cold spirit gum on the back of my neck, and then stretch the bald cap, and then put on prosthetics,
And you did this every day for how long?
Well, I did it actually the weekends. I did it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Because early California Adventure, it was. I'm not doing crickets right now, but
right.
during the week it was not.
It was the B company that did it during the regular day.
Well, pardon me. So you're the A company.
I'm the A company. Yeah.
Let me get my camera straight here. I told you I'm going to be screwing up today. Will, you've had more camera time today than anybody so far.
Really? You're
not
kidding.
my fault.
I haven't said a word.
Not by choice.
Not by choice.
Okay.
Back to me. Thank you. I got it straightened out here. Remember, I have to preview everything before I send it out. I hate this thing. Tell me about Mel Brooks. Experience
short.
Working. What?
Very short. Jewish.
Yes.
Short.
Yes. You could pass for Jewish. Even
yes,
though,
I could actually. Yes. Yeah, and I have quite a number of times.
Yeah.
You know, I'd run through tough Jewish neighborhoods, and I'd have to pretend.
How much interaction did you have with Mr. Brooks during the stage play and during the shooting of the movie, since he directed the movie?
Well, the movie was very interesting because we shot our scene. I was one of the accountants in the big accountant scene, and Mel was sitting.
Despite the fact that you had at that point played all the leads on Broadway and on tour,
and
in Vegas,
and in Tokyo, and in Vegas.
Right.
And Mel was sitting there with Tommy Meehan, who was really the person who shaped the show. And a wonderful man. The late
co-writer.
He passed away recently. Wonderful man. They were sitting together watching the playback, and Mel was not happy. First of all, Annie had just passed away. Anne Bancroft had just passed away.
Anna Italiana.
Of Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah.
He was not happy with what was going on while he was watching John Lovitz do the scene. So he kept sending his assistant over to tell her, do it this way, do it this way, do it this way. Yeah. So I noticed that he was very down, and I went over, and Mel and I happened to love the Ritz brothers. In fact, Harry Ritz was a good friend of mine during the last 7 years of his life.
Did you model Biffle on him at all?
Oh, Harry's with me all the time. Are you kidding?
Yeah,
That's Harry. Don't holla. Yeah. We started talking about the Ritz brothers, and he perked up. And Tommy looked at me and he said, do you know how important the Ritz brothers are to this man?
Wow.
And he pointed to Mel, and I said, I know that. That's why I'm talking to him about them.
Wow. So you hit it off with him right away.
Yeah, and every time I would see him, we would talk about the Ritz brothers.
Did he ever say, "Yo, I'm going to give you a bigger pot. I'm going to give you a bigger
No, because he never saw me naked. Oi! But Mel is a person of enormous ego,
really
enormous talent, and he's about a lot of celebrities, you can say. And Mel, I hope you're not watching this, but
believe me, he's not.
Okay. If it's not about him, it's not about.
Wow.
He's focused, in other words.
He's focused on himself, basically. Yeah. But he's there's no denying that he's a madman, and he's very, very funny.
Yeah. 5 good years then, huh?
5 years with the producers.
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
What else can we mention?
I was in Grease on Broadway.
That's right. You with our friend Barry Pearl, right?
Well, no. Barry was
in the
way
original.
before me. Yeah,
Yes,
he was way before. This was the Tommy Tune production of Grease.
Uh-huh.
We called it the Pink Grease. Because it really everything was pink in the show, and I played Vince Fontaine.
I called it the Big Bird version.
Yeah, that was the yellow version. But we were all afraid to go.
And didn't you in fact go to Greece and do Broadway?
Yes, I did. I did the show Broadway.
Yes.
You're driving me crazy, you guys. I can't keep up with you.
They paid us an
This
Kalamata
is what I was
olives.
afraid of.
They paid us an olive.
You don't have to
He
cut
was
to
in
me every
Greece
time
and-
I say something.
Direct the show too.
No, but seriously,
You
I
were
got
in-
to do. I was hired because I'm an improv guy, and I had to do a 45-minute pre-show every night with the audience, ad-libbing with the audience.
You were the warm-up guy?
And then I was in all through the show. Yeah, but I had to get there at 7:30. I was there on stage at 7:30. Show didn't start till 8:15.
Wow.
And it was always my favorite part of the show.
I don't understand
And
what you
did
mean
the
by
same thing
improv.
you did for him in Thousand Oaks.
That's
Now
right.
they're both
I would
talking
do
at
the
once.
warm-up.
Both of them are talking at once.
You don't need to cut to me every time I say something.
Well, I just did. All right,
You want viewers.
Who wants to go next? I'm back on Nick now.
Oh, hi. How are
Yes,
you?
okay.
Hi, everybody.
All right, okay.
It's good to be back.
I'll tell you what. You sit. You sit. See, I missed that. Do it again.
Oh.
I can't keep.
It's missing
up
all my
with this.
clever stuff.
This is it. This is it. This is it. You see. You see. All right. Okay. Oh, Will. Oh, Will.
Let's do the other horn.
Will.
Good.
Sanity, please. Will. Ryan.
Oh, sanity.
How did you get into singing? How did you get into Disneyland Records before you
snuck
got
in, didn't
into
you?
cartoon voices? There's the
Let's see,
question.
how did
Let's
I do
get
that?
the answer.
I did a couple of concerts with the Cleveland Orchestra.
Oh,
Perhaps
my.
you've heard of them.
So
They're
you
not
did-
bad, huh?
Yes.
And
so you did serious stuff.
No.
Cleveland Orchestra
Somehow.
sounds pretty serious.
Well,
These guys,
Cleveland,
Willie and
come on.
Filio, did a couple of concerts with the Cleveland. I think it's 2 or 10, I forget. With the Cleveland Orchestra. When among the songs we did was "Venue Vision von Star." And
Venue Vision von
yeah,
Star.
I thought it'd be fun to see the Disneyland or the Disney lot while I was in Los Angeles.
Yes.
So I went and visited this guy named Jim Magon, right?
Jim Magon.
And said, hey, we just recorded this. We just did this with an orchestra. It's pretty good. And we understand that Close Encounter of the Third Kind is coming out, like a new version of it is coming out. And they're going to play that sung by Cliff Edwards at the end. So maybe it's time for a single of this to come out, And so that's how I first met him. And then
Now, explain to me Willio and Filio.
Willie and Filio. That's a comedy act with Phil Barron. And,
Who's in a Biffle and Shooster short.
Yeah.
And is a cantor.
Right.
And he's a cantor.
Yes. And
Making whoopee, right?
I know,
I give up.
confusing,
I
isn't
cannot
it?
follow these guys. Go
Right.
ahead.
He's also a teddy bear, a very famous teddy bear, singing teddy bear.
Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah.
Teddy Ruxpin, which
Yeah.
you also worked on. Yes.
Yes, I
Okay.
did. Yeah.
So, did you guys? Were you performers? You recorded for Disneyland Records, the two of you.
That's correct.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. How did you get into cartoon voiceovers? Was it an offshoot of that? Was Jim producing DuckTales and brought you?
No,
I
no,
think
no,
I think
no,
the first thing
no.
you did was either Mickey's Christmas Carol or one of the Winnie the Pooh things, right?
I did those.
There's another
prior
mouse.
To, yes. Yes, those were prior to
That's
any
the mouse that
television.
controls the email. So now we won't be hearing from anybody today.
See, we won't be bothered. You can thank me later, guys.
So I just
Don't touch. Don't touch. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just heard that Bernie Mattinson has become the longest employee of Walt Disney Productions
Who
ever,
is?
or whatever they want to call it.
What is
Walt
who?
Disney. Bernie Mattinson, who
Not Iworks?
not Iworks.
The oob tube.
Well, he pronounced it up.
Yeah.
And anyway, but Bernie's been there a very long time. And
I've forgotten what the hell we're talking
he
about.
produced
Go
and
ahead.
directed Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So that
He's still
that
there.
was
He's
the
there
first
today.
thing
We
then.
can call
Mickey's
him up.
Christmas Carol was the first. All right. But to understand the body of work that you've done will take centuries here.
I agree. So let's go on to something more interesting.
So let's go on. To, why don't we do this? My finger from switching and doing a bad job of it is tired. So why don't we take? It's 4:30. I want to try to get us out of here by 6 o'clock so Mike can get to his little matzo ball soup thing. What is Seder? What is it you're doing? What is the thing you're doing?
It's the closing night of the LA Jewish Film Festival.
Jewish Film Festival. Okay,
Yes.
got the camera on me. Again, Will, you're getting more screen time than I am.
Okay.
I'm talking in the camera.
That time I was aware of it, so I thought it had a little kinetic
because I'm
quality.
going crazy here.
Better it should be on him than on me.
I need a break. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll
Cut to
start.
Michael,
We'll
cut to
talk
Michael,
about the
cut to
history
Michael,
of
cut to Michael.
Schuster.
Cut
You
to
want to
Michael.
keep your viewers, don't you?
We'll talk about the history of Biffle and Shooster and find out the whole story of these guys. If you're still with us, stick around. We'll be right back.
You know, my name is Jack LaLanne, and I'm here for one reason and one reason only, to show you how to feel better and look better so you can live longer.
Beginning in the 1930s, Popeye the Sailor was a box office champion, more popular than Mickey Mouse. And Betty Boop was the queen of the animated screen. In the 1940s, Superman sent animation soaring to new heights that continue to amaze and inspire. These icons were the product of the great Fleischer Studio and its founder. Now, after 40 years, the full story is told in the exciting new book, The Art and Inventions of Max Fleischer, American Animation Pioneer. Author Ray Pointer has penned a documentary in book form that has people talking. The Art and Inventions of Max Fleischer, American Animation Pioneer, available through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, McFarland Books, and InkwellImagesInc.com.
This is Jeopardy!
Game show fans, the #1 and #2 syndicated television game shows want to invite you to visit them live and in person. That's right, Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy are videotaped before live audiences at the Sony Picture Studios in Culver City, California, and you're invited to join in on the fun, absolutely free. Visit WheelJeopardyTickets.com for the latest show and free ticket information. Fill out a short form, press a couple of buttons, print your confirmation, and then voila! We'll see you in person at the taping of your choice. Not only that, but WheelJeopardyTickets.com offers priority seating. That means you're guaranteed admission into the studio provided you confirm your reservations a few days before and arrive on time to take your seats. More details can be found on our website, so visit WheelJeopardyTickets.com and come see your favorite game shows live and in person. That's WheelJeopardyTickets.com.
We now return to Stu's Show at StuShow.com.
There you go. There they are. And you know what's great about that? They're quiet there. That's what's great about that. We're here with Nick Santa Maria. There's Nick. And
Hi.
Will Ryan Schuster. And, of course, their producer, Mike Schlesinger.
Hello, America.
There he is, right there, live and in person.
Ow!
And now you see that I didn't get any of that on
I got
camera.
it all.
I know you got it all. Nick just got slapped. Do it again, Will, so I can see that. Oh, okay. All right, there. See how that's done? That's Nick's fancy handwork there. Okay, yes, you're doing all this shtick, Nick, and I and
I went to the. I go to
Mr.
the
Nick.
This is one of those shows where I need a director, but as I told them during the break, if we had a director in the booth, they couldn't follow this, and they're talking over me. Yes, okay. Are you guys? Will, can we go on now, Will? Okay, yeah. Mike, I'm going to talk to the boys now, as if I haven't for the last half hour, and I want to get the whole story of the whole origin of Biffle and Shooster.
I'll be over here taking a nap.
Yes, that's take a break for a couple of minutes.
Feel free to correct us.
Nick,
yes,
I'll start with you.
Yes.
When did you meet Will, and how soon afterwards did you form this comedy team of yours?
I met Will back in.
Wait, that's me.
Oh, that's you.
You're Will.
Okay.
Yes, a lovely young lady named Rusty Frank introduced Will and I. This was back in like 2006. Around 2006.
Possibly.
And we hit it off immediately. And we found out
what does that mean?
It means that he hit me.
Yeah.
You just
Immediately.
Earlier. Immediately. I said, hi, Will. He said, oh. And I still have the
How
scar.
dare you take my name in vain?
And how dare you hit my vein? But so anyway, we got together.
All is vanity. All is vanity.
And we decided.
So you guys don't need me. I'll just keep the camera on them. Go
It's
ahead.
a biblical reference.
Go ahead.
But anyway, so we decided that we worked well together and we harmonized well together, and we decided we were going to do a few shows. We did some old age homes, basically.
Yeah, I was booked to play in a couple of those.
And you brought me along.
Yeah, and I
he
thought,
decided. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I thought it'd be more fun.
Yeah, if we were a
both
comedy
did it.
team.
Yeah, right.
And he came up with the names Biffle and Shooster.
Right.
Now, I'm pretty sure about this, but Biffle comes from Jerry Biffle from Top Banana.
That's correct.
That was Phil Silver's name in Top Banana.
Oh.
Jerry Biffle.
That never occurred to
And
me.
Shooster. it's
Speaking
like-
of people wearing whistles.
That's right. Oh, yeah, right. He was spoofing.
As we were during lunch.
But anyway, and Shooster, you know.
Because when I was a kid, every team was Schuster. There was Simon and Schuster, Siegel and Schuster, and those
our Canadian friends.
from Canada.
Yeah. Canada, from Canada,
Wayne and Schuster.
fine youngsters. What were Wayne and Schuster? Yeah, right. So
for the kiddies.
He gave us
But
those
that's
names.
spelled differently.
Yes,
Okay,
with this
all right.
Schuster is a double O.
No, we spell it the correct way. SHOO.
Yeah, right.
Biffle, SHOO, Schuster.
Biffle
and Schuster.
Need we say more?
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so we Will came up with the
I'm
names.
having a heart attack as we speak. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to do that again. Okay, that was a rehearsal. Here we go.
Yeah, ready?
All right. All right.
Ask us who we are.
Jeez, I got to switch the camera for that. Am I going to you first, Will?
Sure.
All right. Who are you?
Who are we? Biffle, Biffle, SHOOs to Schuster. Biffle and Schuster.
Need we say more?
No.
That's what most people
Please,
say.
please continue.
With the story.
Let me ask you another question.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Obviously, you write your own material. Do you remember the first place you got booked as stand-up, doing comedy at a club or a stage or somewhere?
As Biffle and Shooster?
As
Someplace?
yourself.
Yes.
Or as myself?
No, as Biffle and
As
Shooster.
Biffle and Shooster?
Yes.
Well, I was saying
we're
we-
talking about Biffle and Shooster.
We only did a couple of...
A few things. Coffee Gallery backstage.
Coffee Gallery backstage.
We did that. And,
we did those old age homes.
Bob Stain really liked us, really wanted...
Yeah, Bob Stain, the owner,
Do a lot
who
of
used
stuff.
to own the Ice House in Pasadena.
He founded the Ice House 53 years ago.
Yeah. And he has us back to the Coffee Gallery.
The Ice
quite
House,
often.
which is a comedy club in the 60s where the Smothers Brothers
Steve
did a couple of
Martin.
live albums there. Steve Martin got his start there.
Yes. Debbie Reynolds.
Pat Paulson.
Right.
Harrigan and Hart.
Who I replaced once. Pat Paulson.
Oh, really?
I had to. Yeah, the audience didn't understand
Wow.
him.
Whereas I saw him once at the Ice House, and it was one of the 2 times I was afraid I was going to die laughing.
Yeah, I think he's hilarious.
Yeah.
Pat Paulson. Pat Paulson is great. I love Pat Paulson.
But back to the Biffle and Shooster story.
Yes.
Yeah, enough of politics.
Let's fast forward. Will and I took some publicity pictures of Biffle and Schuster, and
I
one
wrote
of
up the
them
whole,
was of a big frame, and we were bursting through the frame with big smiles on our faces, right? And Michael picked up this picture that I posted on my Facebook page, and he wrote underneath, "It's a frame up." I wrote underneath.
By the way, prior to this, he'd already seen us perform at Cinecon.
Cinecon. Right.
Yeah.
So it's a frame up, and I wrote, "That sounds like a short. That sounds like an old two-reeler." And he wrote, "Maybe it should be. Why don't you write a treatment?" I wrote a short treatment. It turned out to be way too expensive for him to do because it was Biffle and Shooster have to deliver a painting to a big society party and create.
Then we joined the army.
And create havoc. And then he took the ball and he went out and he actually wrote the first Biffle and Shooster two-reeler.
Yes, and I remember when this happened, and I don't know whether you, Mr. Schlesinger, realized what you were getting yourself into. Did you try to get financing for this before you ended up digging into your own pockets?
Well, yes, I started a Kickstarter, and we sadly fell short by a razor-thin 89%. So at that point, I decided, well, I'm going to have to violate the 2 rules of the producers.
Mm-hmm.
What are those?
Never put your own money in the show.
And what's the other one?
Never put your own money in the show! That's it.
That's it. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I had recently retired from Sony, and I had some mad money.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So I figured, well, this is what I've always wanted to do. So,
So you did it. Now, we'll get to that in a second. Let's give some background. And I don't know which one of you wants to. Thank you. They're turning around. Okay, yes, okay.
Like that.
Give me a second to cut to you
Yes.
because I have to preview
I'm
the shot,
sorry.
and I'm
like
really
lightning.
screwing up
I'm
today.
lightning in a
I hate
bottle.
this switcher. Let's get the whole Biffle and Shooster story. These guys exist, and they had lives, and they
Yes.
made movies, and
Yes.
they did early television. Let's tell everybody out there, before we start
1939
showing
television.
clips, the evolution of Biffle and Shooster. Were these guys in vaudeville? How did they get started?
Biffle and Shooster, both separately began in vaudeville. In fact, they were musicians, and they got together and they did a musical act for about a year. And then they realized that when they got into an argument one night on stage, and Shooster pulled Biffle's pants clear off him. And there he was in his underwear, and
Which was very funny
and it got
underwear.
a huge laugh.
Yeah.
So they decided, hey, this is a lot better getting laughter like this.
Yeah.
We don't have to do the same songs every night and whatever.
And they were in shorts ever since.
Yeah, see? Oh, I thought he was going to miss that one.
I got it.
But boy, a rim shot, and you're going to a circumcision. Wow. Okay.
unfortunately, I don't get any tips.
Whoa. God. Foreskin and 7 years ago. Anyway, so they became a comedy act, and it developed. And before you know it, they were doing Broadway shows. They were in George White's Scandals of, 1919? They did the Ziegfeld Follies. They did...
they were also in Katz's Kreplach Capers.
Yes, that's true. That lasted a full week.
No, because when they did the Vitaphone shorts, remember it says...
Well, that was 1928.
Yes.
Yeah,
But it was the Pan Pacific thing.
Auditorium?
The Pan Pacific thing in 1917 up in San Francisco.
The Exposition?
Yeah, that's right.
Exposition. Thank
That's
you.
it, yes.
Yeah, and they were
where
exposed.
they really teamed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they became a very popular team on Broadway, and before you know it, Sam Weinberg, an independent producer who released through United Artists, decided these guys need
cheap.
their own two-reeler series. And
So
that's what
how
happened.
many shorts did they do for Weinberg?
We still don't know.
We're still not sure.
20.
They're discovering more and more.
20. They did 5 seasons of 4 each.
Yeah.
Because what was happening is Hal Roach was starting to get out of shorts. So Weinberg saw, an entry to get in.
So they're late 30s shorts.
Yeah, they're 33 to 38.
30.
So the first year was pre-code, and so those were a little bit naughty.
Little racy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one was called Bland Hotel, where they get jobs as bellhops in a hotel, and hilarity ensues.
Jerry Lewis stole a lot from them.
Yes.
That's right.
And
The
what
Volkswagen scene in particular.
Yeah, right.
Is
And,
way ahead
and
of its
another
time.
one from that era was the Fuller Lush Man.
Red Skelton stole a lot from them.
Yes, where they're basically
The Captain Marvel scene in particular.
coerced in
Had good humor to it.
Repeal has come in. They're coerced by a bootlegger to dispose of his remaining stock by any means necessary.
Yeah.
But it has a great opening scene where this they're working in a laundry, and the gangster comes in and
Spoiler
says,
alert.
"Tell me, you got an automatic washer?" And they go, "Yes, sir, we do." And he goes, "Good. Here's my automatic. Wash it."
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah. So Biffle and Shooster.
So that what happened after the Weinberg shorts? These are the ones that
Those are the ones we
that
can
we're
see.
currently discovering, right?
Yes,
These
those
the
are
ones
available
on the DVD,
right now. You can order right
which
now.
is coming out on May 22nd, by the way, and you can pre-order on Amazon and other outlets, and we'll be streaming on certain outlets.
And Will, you
called
said
The
something.
Adventures of
Will
Biffle
said
and
something
Shooster.
about a
Mrs.
website. Will said something about a website.
Well, actually, it's a Facebook page.
We have our
called
Facebook page.
It's a frame up.
Okay. What's
It's
that, Mike?
The Facebook page is called "It's a Frame Up," the Biffle and Shooster page. I wanted to try and change it to just the Biffle and Shooster page, but Facebook wouldn't let me do that.
But if you type in Biffle Shooster, it'll probably
it'll
show
come
up.
up.
It'll come up.
Actually, if you type in Biffle, it'll probably come up.
Actually, like this book.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to mention. You guys have got me so rattled up here. Not only is there a book. Wait a minute. It's on me. Hold on a second.
It's on you. Good.
I'm the host.
All right.
All right.
Comic book.
I'm
I was
hungry.
hoping one of you would bring a.
You know,
there's a Biffle and Shooster comic book.
Yep.
Yes, it's about to come out, like
Show
tomorrow.
the book again.
Look.
All right.
Now that's not the comic book. This is our actual book.
The Biffle and
Actual
Shooster
book.
Portable Guide to Proper Etiquette.
And,
Yes.
and this
And there's our picture in the back.
That's right.
Hey,
Okay.
hold it like that.
And it has forewords by me and Donald Trump.
That's right. You and Donald Trump, and no relation.
Yeah.
All right.
Donald J. Trump, no relation.
Right.
Did the intro.
That's
Okay,
right.
All right. Okay.
And
But
it's got
the
a lot of
comic
words.
book is a real. Hold on.
The comic book
The
is
comic
real.
book is real. The comic book is real.
And this is real too.
And it's quite funny.
I think it's real. It looks
Yeah, that
real.
is
Show
real.
it again,
real.
Will.
Speaking of
My God, I'm going nuts.
My sister actually just read this book and said
Palestine, if
it
you
was hilarious.
prefer.
Yeah, okay.
And it is quite funny.
Okay. Now hold on a second. Did you guys write it?
Yes.
Yeah.
we did.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're writing book. What about the comic
we
books?
wrote it, and Biffle and Schuster wrote it, and the forward is by Donald J. Trump, no relation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All
and
right.
Michael Schlesinger also writes in it.
Yes, that's right. We
Really,
all wrote
Mike?
it.
You do?
Yes,
You have
and
to learn to write, to do it.
I feel like John Dorsey on the Newlywed Game, taking a shot every 3 seconds.
I
here.
love his big band.
What? Yeah, no. That's Tommy Dorsey.
I'm sorry.
No, it's Jimmy Dorsey.
John Dorsey was the director on the classic. I'm trying to keep classic TV in here at some point.
And you're
Well, they
failing
did
miserably.
The Dorsey-
Biffle and Schuster did classic TV.
The Dorsey brothers and Tommy
okay,
Makem.
let's finish the Biffle and
Okay,
Shooster.
well,
What happened after the shorts?
After the shorts, they actually started appearing in features, low-budget features, I'll say, and they also guest starred in pictures. They went to PRC and made a
and
few.
did some two-reelers at PRC. Most of these were war-themed.
Yes.
One of the best was called Hair Tonic, spelled H-E-R-R, where Biffle inadvertently gets a job as Hitler's barber.
That's right. I wanted to get at
And
that
then
mustache.
the laughs ensue, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's
Speaking of
another one where
mustaches.
they're GIs on leave in Paris, and it's called Chumps d'Elysée.
Yeah.
Later re-released as Plastered in Paris.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right. And then there was the Castle version, the Castle
Yeah.
Films version.
Oh, yes.
No Parisians, please.
Yeah.
You remember that one?
Yeah. And it
Only
ended
the film
abruptly.
collectors are going to
Only
get that
film
one.
collectors.
Stan Tafo.
They'll get it.
Stan right now is the only one still watching this show. You know that, don't you?
He's supposed to be at work.
Yeah. And Sarah Valentine, who was one of your co-stars.
Sarah.
And my friend
yeah.
Terry
Hi,
Rigler,
Sarah.
I'm sure. Hi, Terry. I'm sure she's watching.
And Terry.
All right. So how
In
did
one
that-
of those, by the way, Hugh O'Brien played Biffle, I think.
Well,
And
actually,
Buddy
they
Hackett
refused to
played
do
Schuster,
the
is it?
film.
Oh,
They
is it?
refused to do a film called "Policeman Save My Mother-in-Law."
That's
And they
That
read the
was it.
script and
Yeah.
said no way, and they hired Hugh O'Brien and Buddy Hackett to take their place.
Once
Still
again,
hasn't been
only
released.
the film collectors are going to
Will
get that, like
understand
this
that.
guy. Yes. Okay. All right. So let me get back to after the war.
Yes.
Early Colgate comedy
They did
hours.
some
for
Colgate
these guys?
comedy hours.
All right. Hold on. Let me get to you. All right. Go ahead.
They did some Colgate comedy hours. In fact, very
When Jack
briefly,
Jack Carter got sick.
Jack Carter the first time. They did so well that they got asked back 5 years later. But they also had their own series for 2 seasons. They had the Biffle and Shooster show.
Was this a variety show or a sitcom?
It was a sitcom.
That was the question.
Yeah, it was a sitcom.
Don't forget, they also were on the radio for many years.
They had a radio show for many years, actually, the Biffle and Shooster show.
Sponsored by Ipana, was it?
Ipana toothpaste and then Campbell's soup. Yeah. And it was very popular.
It's amazing that they have all of this history right up there. So what happened?
Well, there's
Why would
plenty
we
of
have
empty
history in
space.
your hair? I don't get it. Why would there's no room with the dandruff.
After did they? How long did they stay together? I'm trying to conduct a program.
Trying is right.
Yeah, sorry. How long did they stay together as a team? Did they ever break up like Abbott and Costello and try to?
They had an argument once.
Yeah.
There was one argument where
it was regarded Gilbert and Sullivan, right?
No,
I think
that was just a tiff.
It was who got the last crepe lock.
No, actually, Biffle fired his maid.
Wait, say that again.
Biffle. Well, Biffle.
Yeah, exactly.
You see.
Right.
Fired his maid. He found
That's
her
a
stealing.
Kubelski imitation.
He found a Oh, Don. What is it, Jack?
Do the original Don now.
All right.
Play it, Don. Don
All right.
Bester. See?
Play Don. Yeah, anyway, so Biffle ended up firing his maid. He caught him stealing change out of his pants pocket, but he was wearing his pants at the time, so she was very bad at that. And so
Or very good at something
when
else.
he fired her, Schuster hired her. And Biffle took this very personally and asked him to fire her. And he would not. And they did not speak for a year and 1 month, only on stage.
Wow.
And then eventually they were brought together by...
They sent notes to each other.
Yeah, occasionally, but they
Right.
were insulting.
Okay.
And they were brought back together by Eddie Cantor, who had them on their show. And he said, "Now, boys, you've got to get together and be a team again, because everybody wants that." Like that.
Dude, where's the
Oh,
applause?
and then he went. then he went.
Then he went...
And remember that great night when he had Sammy Davis Jr. on, and you guys replaced the other two?
That's
Will
right. We were
Maston
Sammy
trio?
and Will Maston.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
That's right. Yeah.
They don't do
Oh,
blackface
man.
anymore.
What was that song? The Birth of the Blues.
The Birth of the Blues.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
that was great.
And later the critics said it was a breech birth. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh my.
So, we get into the 60s, and I understand, Michael, later on today we're going to see some rare footage that we thought was lost of them in their twilight years as performers. Is that...
Yes. As opposed to their Twilight Zone years.
Yeah.
They
Nick,
did the only live Twilight
yes.
Zone.
What finally happened? How long did they live? What was the last thing they did together? You guys going to get in the same shot? That might actually help.
Does that work? Hey, how about that? Look at that camera over there. Well, I have to say, Schuster was about 9 years older than Biffle. Not many people knew that, but he was.
I don't know if Will knew that.
Yeah, no. And what happened was they got signed by Columbia Studios because their shorts were released to television and became popular with the kids.
Okay.
Columbia decided to give them some low-budget features, and they went back, and unfortunately, the younger one, Benny Biffle, had a slight medical problem. I don't want to say stroke, but it was sort of a stroke. And they had to replace him with a guy named Benny Joe. Who came in.
That's right.
And he made a couple of the pictures with Schuster, and it was Benny Joe, and nobody thought he was funny. He was,
Did you think he was funny, Schuster?
He was under contract. I think that
to the Mafia.
I can say that.
So that's the answer.
Then they put another contract on him when they saw the pictures.
So there you go.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. They did. Spaceship.
All right,
Will
so
go.
When they departed us in the
Where they reused those costumes again.
That's right.
For the third time.
Yeah. Well, actually, Schuster passed away in 1971. He was at the Motion Picture Home.
All right.
And then, funnily enough, he was just visiting. and he
I know,
dead.
but then no. What he did is
when
he left there. He went down to the beach. He got into a boat with a bunch of maidens and went sailing off.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
To the Isle of Avalon. To the Isle of Avalon.
You're thinking of
and
Errol
was
Flynn.
never seen again.
Man.
And Biffle went on to do like Love American Style and Love Boat and things like that. And he passed away sadly in 1979.
Okay, so
Well, remember
there
that,
you have it. What, Mike?
Remember also the night "What's My Line"?
Yes.
Where you were, or Benny was
The mystery guest.
No, Schuster was the mystery guest.
Right.
You or Benny was on the panel and didn't identify him, and he was so horrified.
He was so angry. Nobody identified Schuster, and Biffle was on the panel.
Yeah.
So it was
Is
quite
that
an
how
evening.
angry was Schuster? Well,
Well, I thought that Fred Allen identified him.
No, Fred Allen had died by then. Benny was the guest.
Well,
So they made him get up.
He left a prediction in his will.
God.
These are the jokes, Stu.
Yeah, but
I don't dance.
I'm
This
trying
is it.
to direct. I'm trying to. Is there anybody out there can come over here and direct this friggin' show so I can enjoy it too? I can't keep up. with
leave the
these
camera on them and have done with it.
Yeah, okay. There's a shot of Mike drinking a Coke there. Maybe they'll finance your next film.
Then in that case,
Okay.
Perrier.
there we go.
Okay. Votre santé.
Thank you for the history.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Now I'd like to give the real history.
I think everybody out there knows now the history of Biffle and Shooster. So now what we have to talk about is the collaboration here.
Okay.
Seriously now, let me
Okay.
go to Mike.
Pacific
Let
Exposition.
me go to Mike.
And you know you're in trouble when I'm the voice of sanity.
That's 100% correct. Oh, it's almost 5 o'clock. We're halfway through the show almost. All right, Mike.
Yes.
How serious were you with this? It's a frame-up thing, and when you decided, hey, maybe we can do this as a short.
Yeah.
I mean, when did this become a reality? When did you look at your checkbook and say, yeah, I think we can do this?
Well, as I said, I was retiring from Sony, and I'm single. I don't have a wife. I don't have kids in college. I don't have.
Is this a paid political announcement?
Yes.
All right.
I
These
don't have
available
any
girls.
expensive habits like gambling or hookers or blow. So
Film collecting.
Wait,
yeah,
wouldn't
film
that be the
collecting. Yeah. But
What are you doing? What is this now? We got a
I'm
mafia
saying-
guy in the house
and I
here.
did, and I didn't take a lot of vacation, so
sweetheart.
I actually was able to save, most of my money. So I had some, as I said, mad money, and I said, well, I can afford to do this because it doesn't cost a lot to do a short. And
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. I mean,
and obviously I had a lot of friends in the business, so I was able to.
Right, that was my next question. You got to think about camera people. You got to think about crew. You
We
got to
had a
think
great
about
crew.
wardrobe, sets. I am trying to conduct something serious here for just a moment.
Sure.
Sets. Yeah.
I just said something.
I know.
I said
What's
one
the matter?
serious thing.
Right. I'd like to
I'm
reiterate.
trying to get Seth back in this thing. Yes, Will, go ahead. What?
We had a great crew.
Oh, okay. All
Oh,
right.
sure, he can say it.
Stu, tell me, when was it that you first realized you'd lost control here?
I think about 2 minutes before we went on the air.
I thought I smelled
I think when they
something.
showed up here at 1:30 for lunch.
Yeah.
What you
Hey,
did
I'll
to
count
that
down the
poor
show. We'll
Lisa,
start all
the
over.
Brought us
waitress
lunch.
and that thing
Yeah.
there.
Could I count it down and we'll start all over?
No,
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, Mike.
5.
No,
see, here's the
Four.
thing.
all right, yes.
And
3,
the
2,
Just a minute.
1.
He's doing his ride at Disneyland imitation. Go ahead, Mike.
they say,
getting
any advice
smaller.
for filmmakers is
that sounded like Chuck McCann, but anyway, go ahead.
Oh, hello, Figment.
Go ahead, Mike.
see because the industry has become increasingly youth oriented, I guess.
Yes.
There are an awful lot of incredibly talented and experienced
Indian
people who are in their 60s
Yes.
and can't get work anymore
Hello.
because they're in
But
their
after
60s.
seeing today's show, I think I'm toast for the rest of my life. Go ahead.
So, here were all these people who gave me the benefit of their wisdom and experience, for, crap money.
Yeah.
Because they liked the idea of the project and they believed in it.
Right, but you paid them. It's not like they did it for
I
free.
know. Nobody worked for free except me. But that one of the reasons it looks so professional is because it was made by professionals.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and my philosophy is hire the best people you can, and then don't tell them their job.
That's
right.
That's
Yes,
very.
yes.
That's what Lucille
great.
Ball's philosophy was when I worked for her as her film archivist. Let him do his own work, and that's
Right.
very good.
I want my cinematographer to know more about it than I do. I want my editor to know more than I do. I want my set designer to know more about it.
You want
And
these
if
guys to know
Right.
more about it.
And if I'm screwing up, I want them to tell me how I'm screwing up and how do we fix it.
Right. We are trying to be. Look at this. Look at this. No, wait. All right, it's on that camera there. Okay. All right. See. You see what I
agreeing.
got to put up with here. Not only am
No.
I just totally confused.
And here I am trying to be serious
I
for
know
once.
you're trying to be serious.
I tried doing that
It's-
once. I hired a bunch of people and I didn't tell them what their jobs were, and it was a mess. They didn't
These
know what
guys
to do.
want this show on YouTube. They want this show on YouTube here. All right. So go ahead. All right.
But I mean, that's basically it. I mean, for example, my sound guy, had been in the business for over 40 years. He was a 6-time Emmy nominee with 2 wins.
Yes.
My DP, was John Carpenter's original cinematographer. He shot the original Assault on Precinct 13, Doug Knapp.
Yeah.
And
now, what about wardrobe and sets and all of that stuff? I mean, how expensive is that as opposed to getting current stuff to get period stuff like that? That has to run into some serious money.
Not too much. Because
we had some people like Anita Rinaldi, who was just wonderful.
Yes, and Christina West, and of course a lot of these were people who were left over from the Larry Blamire movies, some of which I had helped produce.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that.
And of course, a lot of the actors came from Larry's stock company.
Yeah,
as
and
well.
a lot of them were your personal friends
right.
too.
Well, almost everybody in the cast was a personal friend.
Well, tell them about some of the people who pop up in these shows, in these movies.
Well, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
But we'll tell them about it now.
Would you like to host the show, Nick?
Do you mind? Finally, professionalism comes to the Shoe Snack Show.
First, you got to learn how to say it.
So Floydman.
First, you have to learn how to say it.
I'm going to take a nap. Let me know when it's my
No.
Is that a nap with a K?
No. I'm so flustered here. Let me make sure that I got everything covered here.
Flustered.
Cameraman.
Mind.
Now, as far as a budget, did you hire a line producer so that you knew how much you were spending?
On Frame Up, I did not, and I said, I'm never doing this again. I have to have a real line producer. And I also have to mention Bill Bryn Russell, who was not just my editor, it's a one-man post-production facility. He edited the picture, he edited the sound, he did all the visual effects. He did all the sound mixing and everything.
And who was your film editor who was incredible?
That's Bill Bryn Russell.
Bill did everything. He did sound
I'm saying
and
he
film.
did all of this. Yes.
All right. How did you shoot this? Did you shoot this digitally, multi-camera, single camera? How did you shoot this?
Well, we shot it on a shoestring.
Different ways.
But the shoestring wouldn't go through the projector, so we had to do it again.
Biffle and Shoestring.
And no, we Frame Up was shot with one camera, a digital camera, Panasonic, which Doug was able to pull a few strings. We got the camera for free, so that
strings
because we only shot for a week. We only needed it for a week.
So
and
multiple takes then of everything. Then you had to do a lot of coverage.
Yeah, but all virtually.
There's just one take Biffle and Shooster.
That's what they call it.
Virtually all the roles were written for the actors who played them. So we didn't have a table read. We didn't need a lot of rehearsal. Right. They showed up. They knew what to do because it was written for them.
And that brings up another question.
Yes.
Okay. Casting.
Yes.
A lot of these people were your friends. Mm-hmm. Did you audition people too?
No.
You knew exactly who you wanted. Like, let me explain something to you and try to get them to follow us here. He didn't just hire actors. He hired actors to play actors. He hired somebody to be Vernon Dent. He hired somebody to be, did you have Franklin Pangborn in the first one? You hired somebody to be Max Davidson. You guys remember Max Davidson.
Of course.
You didn't hire actors to play parts. You hired actors to play other actors.
Yes, which, of course, makes it, in one sense, twice as difficult. But on the other hand, it makes it a lot easier for them because they, I said to Glenn Toronto, how'd you like to play Vernon Dent? He said, I'd love it. I said, great, grow a mustache. That is all the direction I gave him. Yeah. He showed up on the set the first day. He was Vernon Dent. He knew exactly what to do.
Yeah.
Plus, because of that, it was a lot easier on the costume designers, too. Because all they had to do was go online and, Vernon Dent, pull up pictures
watch
of
a Three Stooges movie.
Yes. So they knew exactly what to do. Like, for example, there's a character who is based on Carol Borland in Mark of the Vampire. Same thing. Get a picture of Carol Borland, Mark the Vampire. They know what they get. Yeah. And and that streamlined the process.
And it's not hard to find costumes and stuff like that. I mean, I imagine there's a whole warehouse somewhere in
Hollywood. There are many costume companies in the city.
Tell them where some of the costumes came from.
Some of our costumes, our personal costumes were from Universal and Columbia.
Yes.
And,
and Western Costume, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And Valentino's too.
Valentino's,
and it was funny because Christina West, our lead costume designer, I tell her what I want, and then she'd be like eight. There'd be like 8 things, and I said, "No, I want this one." She says, "Well, wouldn't you just look at the other ones?" I said, "I don't need to look at the other ones. This is the one I want." She says, "Look at it." I said, "All right." I looked at the other one. I said, "Fine, can I have the one I want now?"
At least she did her job.
Yes, she did. No, she was wonderful,
Yeah.
and she still. And in fact, one of the funniest one was we needed a maid costume for Susan McConnell for Bride of Frankenstein. I thought this is perfect, and the skirt went all the way down to the floor. And she said, well, it's kind of gothic. I said, it's a horror movie spoof. It's supposed to be gothic.
You're in a castle.
What about the sets to get 1930s
as you will
sets?
notice, everything was shot on a single set. Now,
wait a minute. You're talking about several of them. We're done that way.
Well, I'll get to it. Frame Up was written to be done on one set. We did a couple of exteriors, but which, by the way, was moist. I'm never going to do that again. At least not on this budget. But
so
we built one set.
Let me explore that.
Cop wanted donuts.
Why is location shooting so difficult?
Well, first of all, there's permits. You're dependent on the weather. You're dependent on ambient sound. We shot one scene where we were really in the shadow of the freeway, and there's traffic.
Noise.
Yeah, noise.
Didn't you know that when you set up?
But we shot it.
There were no freeways in the 1930s.
But we shot around in the late morning when we figured it's not rush hour. There wouldn't be that many cars, and there weren't. But Bill still had a hell of a time erasing all that traffic noise.
Yeah, and keeping the crowds away.
Yeah, exactly.
My goodness.
Yeah. And we were very lucky. Again,
those pigeons.
I'm friends with the Kyoto brothers. And
the Kyoto brothers.
And
now you got me doing it.
Sorry.
And they had a
Mr. Moto beats Kyoto.
and they had a small sound stage. Yes. And they were willing. And December they're usually
It was
dark.
perfect though. It was the same size as
the Debbie Reynolds
begins
studio.
with M.
I
have their logo at home.
The logo, yes. Marathon.
No.
M. Malaquando.
Over it's M.
The
Monogram.
Oh, Monogram Studios.
Yes, it's just like Monogram.
Scientologists own it now.
Are you guys done?
No, but Irene is.
Right.
Go ahead.
Anyway,
Natalie Wood. But Will Ryan.
Anyway, because they're normally dark in December, which is when we shot it, they gave us an incredibly cheap price to rent the place for the 3 weeks we needed it. 1 week to build the set, 1 week to shoot, and then 1 week to tear the set down.
And where were they? Is that the place that was out here at the Valley, or is that
in Burbank? They've moved since then to I think like Northridge or someplace like that.
Because the feature, the four of them,
shot in Canoga Park.
Yeah.
That's a different situation.
Oh, okay.
So, and then when we decided to do the 4 more, I picked from all the log lines we had, I'd written. I picked the 4 that again seemed to be able to be shot on one set. So I basically designed, sort of like laid out, and then like
chiefly one set.
Yes, a large room and a small room adjacent. And you
just redressed them according to the
exactly.
Needs of
so how
short.
we did it was they spent a week building the set and lighting it, and then we shot Imitation of Wife. We then took 2 days off while they redressed the set, relit, and then we shot another 4 day. Then and so on and so on.
I'm sorry. You can't.
No.
They're like a real comedy team.
That's fine, but I thought you wanted to hear the story, and
I'm trying to conduct a serious.
Actually, it was very craftily and cleverly done.
Let me ask you this.
It was beautifully done.
Let me ask you this. It's a Frame Up you did a couple of years before the feature.
Yeah,
that's
December
correct. I did.
Now the response that you got from It's a Frame Up, you went ahead and took the plunge and then financed the feature. Was it a lot more money to open your Perrier? Well, it's fine. Was it a lot more money to do the feature after what you learned from It's a Frame Up, or did it not cost that much more, even though you did 4 times the short?
Right. I wanted, since these are supposed to be the early ones, they're supposed to be a little bit better. So yes, we spent more money, but again, a lot of it was amortized across the 4 shorts because we rented the sound stage. We built that set.
Yes.
And we were lucky because Remit Studio has a warehouse full of props that we could use for nothing.
Okay.
So that saved quite a bit of money as well.
That's why that one shot has all those props in it.
Yeah. But of course we use the same props over and over again because that's the way things were done.
Especially that painting.
Yes. That painting was left over from Dark and Stormy Night, so we saw it as kind of a good luck charm. So it's in every short.
The Snoopy story.
Let me ask you about things that happened while you were producing. Were there, I can already answer with these guys, unplanned things that made the production last longer that maybe were not funny then, but looking back are funny now? Were there a lot of problems, or was it relatively smooth? With these guys, I kind of know the answer, but go ahead.
We
relatively smooth.
we wrapped on schedule, and in fact, on Bride of Finkelstein, we actually came in about a half a day early.
Mm-hmm.
So because we actually on the fourth day of shooting, we wrapped at about 11:30 in the morning, and I said take the rest of the day off, and we had 2 green screen shots that we had to wait until after the set had been partly struck, and then we had access to the green screen, and we shot those remaining 2 scenes.
Was that for Schmoboat or?
Yes, because Schmoboat, we had the opening scene in the captain's office, and then once we shot that, we were able to destroy that part of the set, and then that freed up the green screen because all the rest of Schmoboat was shot on the main stage.
Gotcha. Okay, so what was the production schedule like? You said 3 weeks to shoot the 4 shorts?
It was 4 weeks, but I mean, there was 15 days of actual shooting.
And actually,
but again, it was
actually
broken
5
up.
shorts because there was a
one-reeler.
one-reeler.
Oh yes, and we also shot the Vitaphone short. But we shot that in about half an hour, during lunch.
Now this is an I don't want to say parody, but it's like
none of this is a parody.
It's a 1928 Vitaphone. It's their first sound. It's their first talkie.
There's a second.
The first one's lost.
Nick, thank you for calling attention so I could get the camera.
See that?
Yes.
I'm learning.
Okay.
This Vitaphone short.
Stu, may I interrupt
looks
him?
incredibly like a Vitaphone short. It's your editor was Bill. Was just brilliant.
There's nothing to edit in it.
But it doesn't. He made it look like.
I know what you mean.
He made the sound crummy. He made the image
post-production.
He put in a slug and a fake bad splice.
Right. Yeah. That stuff.
I said I want a slug.
It was done live.
And then he not only put in a slug, but he put in a bad splice so the image jumped for a second.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Contrary to the way I feel, I want to bring the guys into the discussion now and talk about the writing.
They haven't been out of it.
I know, but now I want to.
I've been out of it since I've been here.
I want to legitimately bring them in.
It's taken me half an hour to get 6 minutes of information.
The writing of the stories and the writing of the script. How much of this was written before you started to shoot, and how much, I can almost answer this, was ad-libbed? Let's go to Nick.
I would, to be fair, we tried to be respectful to Michael's work.
Mike wrote them.
Really?
He wrote them.
Seriously, he wrote them.
We're professionals.
Let me say this.
Our parts.
It varied from short to short. Like the Biffle murder case was very tightly scripted because it was story driven.
It
so
had
there's
to be.
very little ad-libbing.
Except for our entrance.
Right. That was the one time where there's some of the others, like Imitation of Wife, where we basically, it was left open for them to
the kitchen scene.
The entire kitchen, the whole sequence early in the film where they're making dinner. There was no script there. What we did, we got together about 2 weeks before we started shooting, all of us, and we started kicking ideas around. So then I would know what
from
props,
the script.
yes,
From the script.
what props to get. And then we got, and this was the first day of shooting, and we got there and we started kicking ideas around. Then as the scene started to take shape, we would start filming. I mean, this is how it was done back in the old days, when the early silent days.
No, I've read about Laurel and Hardy.
Yes, and it was the most fun we had on the entire shoot.
You let me go during that kitchen scene. You just let me go, and I appreciate it.
That's my favorite part of
so
the
much fun.
You can't stop them.
Now, which is not to say there weren't times when they did ad lib, they might change a line, and and I like to think of myself as a flexible auteur.
Yes,
which is if somebody comes up, I have a way of doing things. But if somebody comes up with something better, I'm happy to try it, and if it's funnier, we'll use it.
No, I agree, and that's why I think these things are so enjoyable.
Right.
How you corralled these guys and calmed them down and got them
Wasn't
serious
easy.
enough. I know. I've been with them an hour,
and
a little over an hour, and I'm ready to hit the
Keeps
ceiling.
looking at the clock.
And I'll tell you,
a flexible auteur like
it
Charlotte
drove
Greenwood.
some of the other actors crazy because they'd be sitting there waiting for their cue, and Nick's off improvising. They're sitting there going, "When the fuck is this guy ever going to get back to this last?" So,
what about the chef?
Thank you, William Shelley.
All right, as the director, were you on the floor? And you be quiet.
I'm sorry.
Were you sitting on the floor directing, or were you in a control room since this was shot
rolling on
digitally?
the floor.
Were you looking at a quad monitor?
I was mostly on the floor because that's how those things were directed back then. I did occasionally look at the monitors, go walk around because there were sometimes you had to. But for the most part, I preferred to be there on watching the action live. So
He was very hands-on.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you might want to rephrase that.
All right. He was very on his hands.
Yeah, me too.
He was on his hands most of the time.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Very handy to have around.
Okay.
It's a great system you have, Stu.
Thank you. Yes, it's called being ambidextrously retarded.
I need an aspirin.
Yeah.
Politically incorrect.
I know it, but I don't care. I'm frazzled here. Let me ask you one other thing, and I have to go to my notes because you guys popped it right out of my head. Oh, yes. Like Alfred Hitchcock, you put yourself in one of the films.
Well, actually, I'm in all of them.
You put yourself in all of the films.
Surreptitious.
Well, in all but one, there's usually a photo of me somewhere on the set.
Yeah.
You know, I call it the Hitchcock Dial M for Murder cameo.
That's right.
And then in Schmoboat, I did give myself a small on-camera role.
All right, let's talk about Schmoboat.
Small?
Let's.
That's a $100,000 bet
Guys,
you
he's
do.
got to leave in an hour.
Go.
You guys were worried
According
about
to the
it. We
music
haven't even got to
publisher.
the clips yet. We're going to do that after the next break, if we can get to the break.
Yeah.
Let me ask you about Schmoboat, because we talked about this 1928 Vitagraph short.
Yeah.
It looks like a 1928 Vitagraph short. You're not in the
Vitaphone.
shot yet. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'll tell you when to lean in. Let me finish.
Okay.
It's my camera. I'm on right now. All right. Okay. You also we talked about this on New Year's Eve. Room ambiance. You took from Duck Soup.
Yes.
You took
The mirror scene.
The mirror scene. You got to lean in more, Will, if you're going to do a bit. Okay. No, you lean the other way, Mike, so he can lean in. Lean to your left. All right. Okay. All right. I've forgotten the damn question now. Oh, yes. Schmoboat.
Yes.
This was supposedly was it a two-strip Technicolor film?
Cinecolor.
Explain the
Except
process,
no less.
because we're gonna show a clip from it after the break. Go ahead.
Cinecolor was an early, cheaper alternative to Technicolor. It had two negatives, red and blue, which gave an odd but pleasing sensation.
Right. Okay.
And we planned for it. We planned for it. We designed for it. I checked with some people who are expert about that, and they said no yellow, green only if absolutely necessary.
Yeah. No blue, like you said.
No. Yes, blue.
Oh, there is blue.
Yeah. Well, because it's red and blue.
Red and blue. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's funny. A funny story. He says the first time Bill went in and fixed it, he thought it was two-strip Technicolor, so he made everything red and green. And I said, no, it's wrong. And then he had to go back and do it again.
So,
No, that's a two-strip Technicolor.
Yeah, that's what. Oh, that's right. Those cartoons in the 30s.
Yes, so he had to go back and do it again. I felt awful, but
all right. Now, before we break, this feature of the compilation of the shorts has screened at film festivals, and yes, you have won awards, haven't you?
Yes, one. Well, I won.
Okay, all right. With these guys,
We won
that's
some
a miracle.
spurious awards.
Yeah.
Yeah. What award did you win?
We won Best Short Audience poll at the. It was. I've forgotten the name of the festival.
The world's largest film festival.
It's in New Jersey. I forget the name. I apologize
Buenos Film Festival.
forgetting the name of
Hey, how you doing? You gonna show a film?
No, but what's.
Hey, you get the #1 award, see?
But
Sorry,
the point
Mike.
is, it was an audience award, not like a judge's award. So
Which is better.
yeah. But
Well,
we had a
because the people. Those are.
But I
the
have a
people
hell of a time getting into festivals because they want bleak and depressing and soul crushing,
Right.
Preferably foreign,
Yeah.
preferably from a third world country. Bonus points if it's directed by Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
And the last thing they want is two guys in fedoras getting slapped and telling stupid puns and
but
singing
if you,
show tunes.
Yes, but if you understand
It's
the nature
frivolous.
of it,
We can't have frivolous at our
So the
film
next ones
festival.
we're going to do are going to be shot in Poland, and we'll be wearing derbies.
That's why I'm trying to. That's why I'm trying to do this show to help spread the word that
thank
this
you.
is worth it. How did you get Kino Lorber involved after dealing with these two
Well, I've known
monkeys
the
over here?
I've known the Kino guys for many years. I've done DVD commentaries for them, and
Remind me how you get this and what this is. It's the Adventures of Biffle and Shooster.
all right,
Misadventures
let
of
me
Biffle
answer
and
this
Shooster.
question, and
Let me answer.
and basically I gave
Well, Ryan wants to host.
I gave
too.
it
You
to
guys
them.
are going to start your own podcast. God help us all. Go ahead, Mike.
and I basically gave it to them. I said you can have it for no money up front. And
oh my God! Just like today.
Just yes.
Yeah.
So
I got an egg salad sandwich.
when they
and look at the results.
yeah, but I'll start making money when
when the sales start.
Yeah,
coming in.
exactly.
Great.
So,
Okay.
But this wasn't about money. This was about getting it out there.
Yeah.
Being calling Claude. I want people, hopefully somebody with money, to look at this thing and say, "Hey, this guy's good. He did this, and it looks incredibly professional. And he only did it for a couple $100,000, and it's well edited and well acted and well shot and."
Ryan.
Let's see what else he's got.
Yeah.
Say that again.
And Ryan.
And Ryan.
Okay, well, I think in this hour and 15 minutes we've got enough history and enough just...
Can I go now?
No, we're going to show the clips. We're going to show...
You don't need me to show the clips.
Yes, we do. Will, did you want to favor us with a little song before we go to commercial? You're just... okay, all right. So we'll go ahead and we'll take our second break now, and when we come back, you're going to see the results of this madness that we have been talking about.
And I'm going to kill myself on live television.
Too. Stick with us.
I'm going to be Bud Dwyer.
Berman. He's been entertaining people for over 50 years, on stage, in movies, on television, and on his classic million-selling comedy albums. Now, Grammy Award winner and Emmy Award nominee Shelley Berman presents his first book of poetry, To Laughter with Questions, Poetry by Shelley Berman. In the introduction written by Shelley, you'll read about his inspirations for the more than 40 poems contained in this collection.
I loved being chosen to be in the cast of the great comedy series Curb Your Enthusiasm. I could not resist writing about my excitement at having a very good part in that show.
And in addition to poems inspired by personal experience, Shelley writes about things that affect all of us.
Some sounds seem almost designed to drive one mad, such as the incessant beeping of construction vehicles.
To Laughter with Questions, Poetry by Shelley Berman. For more information, please visit the official Shelley Berman website at shelleyberman.com.
Noordame.com continues its passionate love affair with Stu's show and the golden age of entertainment. We invite you to check out our YouTube channel and subscribe. Just visit Noordame.com and click on the YouTube button, where you'll enjoy a great selection of movie trailers, old-time radio, and playlists of your favorite novelties from the 1940s through the 1980s. Comedy, drama, and music. It's all here for your viewing and listening pleasure. So from one dame to another, go to Noordame.com. That's Noirdame.com. And tell them Janine sent you.
Oh, look, another fascinating selection from the book club. Hey, this isn't from the book club.
Indeed, it's not. The official Dick Van Dyke Show book is the definitive biography of TV's most enduring show.
It's good. It's darn good.
So good, you'll want to share it with all your friends.
You might as well know. We read it, we're sorry, we apologize, we loved it.
Packed with rare photos and filled with backstage anecdotes, read the book that's garnered praise from critics in all walks of life.
I've always found the writing to be of the highest caliber.
The result of more than 100 interviews with the show's entire cast and crew, the official Dick Van Dyke Show book is the crowning achievement of author and TV historian Vince Waldron.
You did, he typed the whole thing with one hand.
The official Dick Van Dyke Show book takes you so close to the show's characters, you'd swear they were reading it right over your shoulder.
It had been fairly well mangled.
Let me read by myself.
Go to dickvandykeshowbook.com to order your copy today.
Help Stu Showstack preserve the legacy of classic television by becoming a Stu Show VIP. Your monthly contribution to this program ensures its future and provides you with exclusive perks along the way, including complimentary downloads and unlimited free viewings of past broadcasts, plus an endless supply of rare vintage television programs from the 1950s through the 1970s that stream on demand. These rewards are available only to Stu Show VIPs, and it's easy to become one. Membership is maintained via the show's online partner, Patreon. For more information, just click on the Stu Show VIP banner at the top of the main page. And thanks for your support.
This is Stu's Show at StuShow.com.
Thank God for these breaks, that's all I can tell you. Gentlemen, Eric Grayson says, where is your deer tranquilizer? He says, at least I get all the jokes, and Nick does a great Eddie Cantor. Oh, wait a minute, I'm missing something here. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, and then Nick is singing? Oh, you want to lean into his shot? Okay, go ahead. Lean in, Nick. Okay, there. Hi. There we are. All right. Biffle and Shooster, otherwise known as Nick Santa Maria and Will Ryan. Thank you, guys. 2 seconds of applause for that. Back to me so that I can ask Mike a serious question. Thank you. Thank you for bringing the uke, Will.
Sure.
Thank you.
Any
you
old
so
time.
much. Yeah, okay. All right, so let's talk about the difference between them buying the DVD, which comes out on May 22nd, or getting the streaming version, as I get to your camera here. The differences again, you mentioned them at the beginning of the show. Mention the differences again. They're going to get a much better value if they buy the DVD.
I have lost the will to live.
Yeah, you join the club. We're going to be done here in less than an hour. You get to leave soon.
All right.
He's the lucky one.
Yeah.
The streaming version, which is called The Adventures of Biffle and Shooster, is 4 of the shorts plus some bonus material. This was originally created for the theatrical release. We ultimately
The best of
did
the
not
best.
have. Yes. The DVD has all the shorts individually with their own end credits, and all the bonus material. There's actually more bonus material than there is shorts, including nearly an hour of bloopers and outtakes, which are fantastically funny.
Sounds excellent.
So if you want everything, you have to get the DVD. If you just want like the best of, then you, get the streaming version.
Okay, very good.
And we do have commentaries on all 5 shorts.
Right, and you've got out what you mentioned, the bloopers and the outtakes and all kinds and some of the stuff we're going to show here today.
A couple of things, yes.
A couple of things to entice you. Despite what's happened the last hour and 25 minutes here, you're going to see some really cool stuff. Now, are you guys, wait a second here. You guys want to share Will's camera? I'll tell you what. Let me here. Take.
Be my guest.
Take 3.
Won't you?
Yeah, I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll introduce this first clip. You don't have to. You know what?
Not now.
Don't even move.
I won't.
Don't even move, because what I'll do is during the clip I'll readjust the camera because we have no crew here. I'm the crew. I'm the director, and I'll pull back so we have a 2-shot of you for the rest, and that'll be a lot easier for me to direct.
I'm going to do the shaving off the mustache
Which is what I
bit.
suggested to you 3 hours ago.
Yeah, no, I want to look. You know, I know actors, and actors like to have their own close-ups and their own cameras.
No, I'm going to do the shaving off the mustache bit, which I believe is the first on your show.
You want to do that now? You're actually going to you're wait a minute. Get off of Mike and onto me. See, you're actually camera 3 for Will. You're actually going to shave your mustache on
Yeah,
the
I think
air?
so. I finished that play, so why not?
Really? Yeah. Well, do you need some shaving cream or anything?
Let's see.
Yeah, you should use some shaving cream.
Should.
Yeah, I mean,
probably should.
otherwise it's
Yeah,
going
do
to
you
get
have
quite
any?
bloody here. Well, this is a
No,
first for
you're
Stu
gonna
Show.
chafe.
You folks watching the show, Will is going to shave his mustache off.
He's going to chafe. I mean, if you
Yes.
use shaving cream.
maybe.
Yeah, okay.
Could be.
Do we have a drum roll? I have a rim shot. Okay.
You got some shaving cream, don't you?
Yeah, but I got some, but I got to run upstairs to get it.
We'll get it during the clip.
No.
Oh, okay.
Run a clip and then get...
It's a rusty razor.
Wait a minute.
It's a rusty
Guys,
razor.
my show. Are we going to do this now?
Rusty
You wanna
Razor,
do it
my
when we
favorite
come
singing
back?
cowboy.
Oh, you want to do it? All right, he's
Suspense.
going to do it later. So yes,
Suspense.
during the
He was
clip.
in the gay blade.
During the
Yes,
clip,
yes.
I'll go get some... During the clip, I will get some.
You know,
shaving
should we
cream.
leave it up to the audience? if
No,
they-
don't leave it to the audience. And by the way, I don't even think I don't even know if they want to write in. Did it pop up? There it is. Questions and comments.
I think the audience left about a half hour
I think
ago.
so too. I'm afraid to check the count. Anyway, there's the address. comments@stewshow.com. You got to look at it on the line out monitor. And this time, unlike what happened when Lloyd Schwartz was here, I'm going to hit this button and it's going to go away. And you're not going to be. It's not going to block our faces this time. Oh, was I pissed when I saw the last 5 minutes of the last show. All right, let's start showing them clips because Mike has to leave a little after 6. The first thing I've got here is imitation of wife. Mike, set us up.
I don't even remember which clip I sent you.
It's
in the kitchen cooking?
It's when one of them comes home and tells the wife that Vernon Dent is coming to dinner.
Oh, okay.
Will comes home and the wife has already been in the
Sammy
kitchen
Schuster comes home.
with Nick
Yeah.
or Bill. I don't even care anymore. He's with Biffle.
This is the classic bringing the boss home for dinner setup. It's sort of a combination of Laurel and Hardy's "That's My Wife" and a Charlie Chase short called Accidental Wife or something like that. I can't remember the exact title.
All right.
And it's
who's the gal that plays the wife? She's
the
very
gal
good.
is Trish Geiger, who was also our first AD, is also a wonderful producer and director of documentaries. She's again another member of Larry Blemeyer's stock company, a wonderful actress.
And is that a wig she has on, or did they make her hair up like that?
I think that is her actual hair.
That is her hair.
Yeah.
Oh, that is her hair. That's very, very well done. All right,
By
Nick,
actual
do you want to
count.
say anything about this before we roll?
No.
All right, Will.
But
No,
Nick,
This is amazing. They don't want to talk. It's amazing.
basically, Nick and Benny and Mrs. Schuster have just cooked dinner, and Will comes home.
All right, so that's all we need to know.
I
Let me
think
cue
so.
up the video here.
Sammy
Let me
comes
press
home.
the button.
This isn't exactly Tom Stoppard here. You know.
Here it is, Imitation of Wife on the new DVD. Take
Thank
a look.
heavens.
Hey, honey, I'm home. Oh.
Too bad. Benny was right in the middle of making mad, passionate love to me.
But you did make dinner, didn't you?
Yes, we made dinner.
That's swell. Sure hope you made plenty.
What do you mean?
Well, it turns out the boss's nephew was visiting from Oxford, and Mr. Dent invited him for dinner, too.
What? You sprang this on me last minute, and now I have another place to sit?
I can eat in the kitchen.
You already are!
Honey, I didn't know myself until an hour ago. I couldn't say no.
Why not? You say no to me all the time, don't you?
No, that doesn't count.
8 years I've been working my fingers to the bone, and what do I get? If you say bony fingers, I'll kill you.
My unending love?
And unending debt? Last time I bought a new dress, they hadn't even invented talkies yet.
Wait a minute, you've been married 8 years. Jolson made the jazz.
I know how long I've been married. 8 years. And for 8 years I wanted to start a family, and we don't even have one yet. What's a house without children?
Quiet.
Shut up. That's the last straw. I'm going home to Mother.
You can't. She's in the Catskills.
Not yours. I'll send for my things. This is ridiculous.
Wait, honey, you can't do this to me. You can't do this to us. Believe me. This is going to be the greatest thing that ever happened to us. Ah, can this day get any worse?
Why do you keep saying that? Every time you say it, something happens. See?
The boss. The boss! Quick, get out of here. I'll come up with something. I said get out of here, quick!
Right.
Not that way, the kitchen!
Right.
And then the fun begins.
And I should point out here that, I gave, in fleshing out their characters, I gave them a lot of running jokes. And you heard two of them in this, Benny's obsession with Al Jolson and Biffle's mother, who we never see, but is always like a looming constant nightmare over the proceedings. Yeah. And one little thing I'll divulge, you remember when he bursts out of the kitchen door and you can see the kitchen behind him? There was nothing there. I had taken a photo of the set, and Bill literally matted it into the door frame.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How
and
cool
I didn't
is
know that until recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing what you can do nowadays with computers.
Yeah. And make it look like a 1930s comedy short.
Yeah.
Did you? It's probably cost prohibitive, but did you ever, at any point, think of doing background music like they had on Laurel and Hardy's?
But Laurel and Hardy, the Our Gang, all the road shorts were the only ones that really had scores. If you look at the Columbia shorts, at the educational shorts, the RKO shorts, they almost hardly ever had underscoring.
Yeah.
Now there is in this short, for example, the entire cooking montage is set to Dance of the Hours. There's some Tannhauser overture. They sing "Ain't We Got Fun."
Right, but you know what I meant.
Yeah, that's a very clever idea. Yeah, and you made that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, so it's so we put music in where it's appropriate.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Guys, and I have them in a two-shot now so I can get them both being themselves. And, of course, now they're going to be like Kodak moments and just sit there, right?
Yeah. He's here. I didn't know you were here.
All right.
It's nice to see you.
No. Did you... Any ad-libbing in that we need to be aware of? Do you guys remember if...
that scene?
Well, Mike said that he allowed you to do whatever you wanted. He's a flexible auteur.
That was
whatever
written.
He said.
That scene was written because it had to be absolutely precise. So
you
that
had
particular
three
scene,
people who needed that timing, but the previous scene in the kitchen when
that was all ad lib.
Was all ad lib.
Yeah, but I have to say I really like the way you kicked up that apron, which had fallen.
And we have an outtake
because that was an ad lib.
We have an outtake where he kicked up the apron and it went forward, and then he walked and kicked again, and ran and kicked again, and all the way out the room.
Oh, that's great, and that obviously is on the DVD.
That's on the blooper reel.
All right, now we're going to showcase. I've already pulled the camera back. If you're going to shave, I got to put it back. I can do it during the next clip. The next clip is a little longer, and this one spotlights Mr. Ryan's wonderful singing ability. I'm trying to be polite and complimentary here because he is a fantastic singer, not just a great voiceover actor, but he's a terrific singer. This is from Schmoboat. Should we have Will set this up since these are his friends, these beautiful girls?
The Saguaro sisters.
Oh, sure. The Saguaro sisters, who are wonderful, and I've been performing with them for the last 5 years at places throughout the West. And but speaking of fine singing, I have never sung on Broadway,
I have.
You have.
I'm sorry. No, thank you, Will.
But I once got Broadway tickets for a song.
Yes, you did for a song. Boy, you're the one.
I've had my music performance.
They can see me doing the switching here now because I'm so far back. This is supposed to be secretive stuff here, but in order to get you guys so we don't miss any of this uproarious comedy they keep doing, I've backed up the camera a little bit there.
And by the way, I should mention that Will wrote this song himself.
Yes. Well, how many songs have you written in your lifetime?
Oh, I don't know. About 100 for Disney's and about.
You're like the Steve Allen of comedy.
Not yet.
Comedy music.
That was 7,000 at last
I'm so
count.
frazzled here tonight. All right. So Mike.
My first book is called Bebop Tales.
Okay. Set this up. The Schmoboat. What is it?
Schmoboat is basically a variety review short where it's songs and sketches.
And this is the one where we talked about that it's
in Cinecolor.
It's in Cinecolor.
So it's going to look a little. The color's going to look a little odd, but it's supposed to.
It's going to look like 1930s.
Aren't there
color.
a couple of wonderful guys in the opening scene of Schmoboat?
Yes, we
one
have,
guy who you wanted to direct like your whole life.
And Jim Beaver, who I'm sure you know.
Oh, he's a Facebook friend, and I've done warm up where Jim has been a guest actor.
Yeah, he's on Supernatural for many years. He also did Justified and Deadwood. And man, he's been an old friend. So he came in and did a small role. And well, I don't want to spoil a surprise of the other cameo. But
another guy.
I'll tell. It's Dick Miller.
No, there might be fans
Dick
who will
Miller.
buy the movie just
Dick
for
Miller.
that.
Dick Miller. I mean, 50-year dream come true to direct Dick Miller. It was a very, very brief cameo,
but he's hilarious.
Yes, he is. Okay. He had one line and he made it better.
Yes.
All right.
Turn it into
is
two.
a little bit easier directing this way, but I have to go back on a close-up of Will because when we come back from his clip, he's going to shave for all of us. Where else can you see this on television? Wait, what?
This is a rusty razor.
Yeah, it's a rusty razor.
Is it rusty?
It's full of rust.
Oh my God!
No. If you want,
don't do this. Don't do this.
No.
Don't cut up.
We'll do it another time.
Blood poison is not a good
I
thing.
just want to say Dick Miller is a terrific dancer, and his wife is a terrific dancer.
Yes.
So you're going to spare us and not shave your mustache, then? I'm sorry. I mean, I could
distinguish. You should keep it.
I could go get my razor if you don't. I used it this morning. That's got Jewish hair all over it. But other than that, fine.
Bugs Bunnyberg.
Yes, thank you so much.
A Jewish hair.
All right, let's run Schmoboat here. This is Will Ryan and his beautiful singing sisters here. You're going to love this.
And his band.
Band. Here we go. Right. Watch, and we'll talk about the band when we come back.
While Benny's still in surgery, I thought I'd do a number with the band. Holy cow, it just dawns on me the band hasn't been introduced yet. Shall we do that now?
Hi. Hi. Pleasure meeting. Hi.
Funny, I thought they already knew each other. Well, this next number is a little song I made up called Sand. It came to me one night at dinner while I was having dessert.
I told you that joke would bomb.
Yeah, and you're the one who sold it to me. Well, anyway, to add a little authenticity to this number, I decided to invite along Shona, Corona, and Katrona, the Saguaro sisters. Ready, everyone? Sand, nothing but sand. Sand, acres of sand and more sand. It's irritating me. I clearly hate the sea in this land full of sand. Always kind of thought that maybe someday I'd settle down.
Down, down, down.
Somewhere far away from all the noise and grayness of town.
Down, down, down.
Where I could sit and stare for hours at loads and loads of them cactus flowers. But oh no, oh no, I'm staring at sand, nothing but sand, sand, oodles of sand and more sand. It's irritating me, I clearly hate a sea in this land full of sand. Oh mercy! Oh, yeah. You tell him, Benedict. Okay, presto. I'm staring at sand. Oh, nothing but sand. Oh, sand. Nothing but sand and more sand. I'm riled and I'm annoyed, 'cause I just can't avoid all this land full of sand. Acres of sand. Miles of sand. Oodles of sand. Nothing but sand. Very good. Well, that was wonderful. Could you take this with you?
Well, certainly.
Thank you.
Grab that.
The band, the Saguaro Sisters.
Bye.
So long.
Yeah, baby. Mr. Ryan, do we want to say anything else about these lovely women?
Oh yeah, the Saguaro Sisters. That's Shona, Corona, and Catrona, and they're just wonderful. And gee, they're great.
They're
as
swell.
well.
Yes.
And they also have an alter ego. They're also known as the Starlight Sisters.
Yes.
When they do more 30s and 40s,
Big band.
nightclub
Non-Western stuff.
Yeah.
When they play with Johnny Crawford.
Yes.
The disposition of these and the orchestra. That's what I was.
Oh, yes.
The orchestra. Tell us
Let's
about
see.
these are the guys that are in your band.
That's
right?
the Cactus County Cowboys.
Yeah,
That's
that's them. That's the Cowboys. Cool.
Well, some of them. There's
well,
because there were a couple that couldn't make it that day because they had
Westy
other gigs.
couldn't make it,
And-
but that's the current.
and Chloe
makeup of
couldn't
the
make
band.
it, yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. All right.
But that was John Reynolds on guitar, and guitarists can learn a lot watching that little clip.
Oh, he's my favorite.
And Benny Bryden on fiddle. And when he's not, he's touring right now, playing the finest concert halls in the world. He goes for a month. He's with Yanni on their 25th anniversary tour or something, playing literally the finest concert halls in the world. And then comes back and plays with us for a week or two, and then goes again.
Excellent.
And we should point
then
out that
Katie
Sure.
Cavera on the
yeah.
upright bass there, and Katie is just terrific too.
Go ahead, Mike.
And this is very rare to see them not in their cowboy clothes.
Yeah, and in tuxedos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
we're-
Mike.
Yeah, I was going to say, and then that's not all the band because on the other side of the stage is part of Dean Mora's band, including Dean himself, who's conducting the full orchestra. So, but they weren't in this particular number.
Not in this particular thing.
because this was really more of a campfire song. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is easier directing them when they're in a two-shot, that's for sure. But see, they can be calm and nice, and now we're.
see, they're doing it deliberately.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say another word.
No, okay, yeah. Well, you don't really have to because we've.
Can
got
we have
clips.
that in writing?
Yeah.
When I learn to write, I will.
All right.
Okay. I'm still having a hard time following this thing.
IWILL.
And anybody from the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, there's got to be some sort of award you can give me and no cracks.
Purple Heart.
Purple Heart. Thank you. Say it again to your camera. No.
Hi, there
Yeah,
you
there
are.
you are.
Hello, America. Purple
Yes.
Heart. Give
Yeah,
a Purple
Chiron.
Heart for
Yeah,
Stu.
yeah.
Of
Okay,
Chiron.
All right.
The Purple Heart of
Chiron.
Chiron.
Myself on the back here. What, Will? What?
The Purple Hat of Chiron,
The
but
Purple
it was
Hat of-
only funny before.
I'm so glad I cut to him for that. We got one more clip, and then we'll break, and then we'll come back and do some bonus stuff from the disc.
Okay.
And
Then
then
we're just
we'll
gonna read some
and
emails?
We're done.
Yeah, okay.
What would you say, Mike?
All right.
Yeah. No, I said
Ooh.
emails. Yes.
Yeah. We got lots of emails.
Okay.
Ooh, we haven't even mentioned the comic book
I
yet.
want females.
It's interesting, guys. Will, some of the emails, they do want you to shave your mustache. I want you to know that.
I think anything that hides his face is an improvement.
Yeah, okay. Is this, we got the...
There we go.
Yeah, go to Will. Yeah, okay, all right. Let us, jeez, now the board is not behaving. Bride of
Are they here?
Finkelstein.
The entire board.
Bride of Finkelstein, which is my favorite short, not
Mine
only
too.
because it includes the lovely Sarah Ballantyne.
Sarah!
Who we've heard
Yay.
from. There's an email here that I'm going to read
Hi,
from
Sarah.
her later. But I think it's the funniest. They're all good.
Yeah.
They're all funny. You will not feel like you wasted your money on this set at all, especially with all the bonus material. But it is my favorite of the shorts, and I think it's yours too, isn't it, Michael?
Yeah, because it's two things that's very close to my heart. Two things that are very close to my heart. One, Universal horror movies. Who doesn't love Universal horror movies? And two, as we've mentioned earlier, it's
The
it's
Atrio
a-
Ventricular Valve, which I couldn't say.
Val Luton.
Max Davidson, who I've great a love for, and I like to think this is the talky comeback he never had in real life.
Yeah. Okay, so really good. All right, let me cue
The
that.
toughest part was trying not to repeat any jokes from Young Frankenstein.
Oh, yeah, that was
not easy.
Yeah. And with these guys, you can never be too sure,
Yeah.
right?
We had an Oscar-winning gorilla too. I should mention.
Yes, we did.
Oscar winning. Do we?
Chris
do we
Wallace.
want to say who was inside?
Sure, Chris Wallace.
Chris Wallace.
Wait,
He had designed the suit and he was dying to try it out. And Frank Dietz put us together. I said, Chris Wallace would do My Fish Dunk in a Little Picture.
Wow, cool.
And he did, and he was absolutely wonderful.
Okay, final word before the clip from the guys. What do you want to say? How about that? Is that your favorite clip, Nick?
My
Will?
favorite short? You
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
No.
Favorite short. I'm losing it.
I'm going to say no. I think my favorite is Schmoboat.
Oh,
I thought it was a Biffle Murder Case.
And Biffle Murder Case.
Yeah.
Black and white, Biffle Murder Case, color, Schmoboat.
I told
My
you.
favorite
Yes, Will.
is the next one. The next one we do.
Oh! Is that a hint for financing? Have you thought about trying again a GoFundMe or something?
At this point, I think, I'd love to see this streaming, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, whatever, because, we've already shot 5, so I figure 5 more, there's your first season.
Yeah.
And we can do these things for a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of what they pay for things like House of Cards or Men in High
they're
Castle.
paying a bloody fortune for some of that stuff that
Right,
gets
plus-
3 clicks,
plus this
less
is-
than this show gets.
Yeah. Plus, this is family friendly, which also makes it unique because most of those things go for a lot of sex and violence.
This is not family friendly because I say fuck here all the time.
That's right.
Yes. Yeah,
Also, it means we can say shit. Too.
Wow. That's
Are
dirty.
Biffle and Shooster going to swear for us today?
Sure. I solemnly swear to interrupt at every given moment and to go like this.
And who was the guy?
What?
The guy who did that on Perry Mason.
Oh, that was Hamilton Mervman.
No.
Bill
no.
Seidman.
Do you know who that was?
Kelman von Seidman.
You're talking about the bailiff that
Yes.
swears people.
Oh,
in?
that was the guy who was
the guy
in,
with the glasses.
Yeah.
and the-
George E. Stone.
George E. Stone.
George E. Stone.
From
I'm
the
a big
old
Perry-
Warner
Isn't that
Brothers.
amazing?
I'm a big Ferry Payson fan. I'm a big Mary Payson.
I think you were right the first
See what
time.
they've done to me?
I think he was
I'm
right
a
the
big
first time.
Perry Mason. I almost did it again. Perry Mason fan, and I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Is he on the
Yeah.
credits? Is he billed?
He's not billed, but that was him.
Okay.
And
When he
I know
dresses
Michael
as a-
Fox is the doctor.
When he dresses as
Not
a
Michael
bird.
J. Fox.
he's
Michael
one of
Fox.
the. He's one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was,
he's one of
he
them.
was also the coroner on
I
Burke's
worked with
Law.
him in a
Yes.
picture.
Right.
Yes. You work with Michael Fox?
Yeah,
What was that like?
It was great.
Yeah.
I mean, because I knew who he was, and nobody else seemed to. So we
Yeah.
had lunch together and chatted
we
and
need to
talked.
talk
and
about Perry Mason. I
hung
was
around
trying to
at the
get
rap
Barbara
party.
Hale to do my show, and then she
Aw,
died.
she passed
nice,
away.
sweet, nice lady.
Chances
she
are you
was.
won't get her now.
No, that's very true. Hey, why don't we show Bride of Finkelstein, because that's why you guys are here. I hit my magic button. No cracks, Nick.
Sorry.
Here we go. Bride of Finkelstein. Biffle and Schuster. Enjoy.
A clip.
You got a gorilla? Doesn't everybody?
I suppose the gorilla's name is Shlomo.
Don't be stupid. He doesn't have a name. He's a gorilla. Ach, this guy.
Yeah, what's the matter with you? I'm starting to think this Finkelstein might be a little batty, if you know what I mean.
Hey, I'm over here.
I'm seeing double.
Don't insult the gorilla.
We can finish this family reunion later. Come on.
Hey. What does this do?
Don't touch that! What's the matter with you? Can't you read a sign?
Who's smoking?
You throw that switch, it blows up the whole castle.
Why would you have something like that?
Yeah. Wouldn't a nice swimming pool do just as well?
I know, but I won't tell you.
I have a good mind to leave this joint.
If you had a good mind, we wouldn't be here in the first place.
Schweinhund,
If you rang,
are we ready?
if we're not, just paint me pink and call me Aloysius.
It's Jesse Levy.
Stuff looks great. Absolutely great.
And I
guys.
should mention that
Yes, Mike.
again, talking about improvisation, the script says they do the mirror scene.
Chris and I came up with that.
The only thing in that entire part of the scene, the only thing that was in the script was, "Come on, you can finish this family reunion later." Everything else was them.
That's a testament to you guys. You guys
I
are
like
very
those,
funny.
Those
Thank you.
slaps
Yeah.
we came up with while we were
Yeah,
doing
that
turns
during
into a
rehearsal.
Jack Benny thing.
And then
Yeah.
he turns, and then he goes, Jack Benny goes, "Oh, da."
Oh, Doc.
Yes. Yes.
And I actually, when I was proofreading the closed captioning, I actually had to put in imitating Jack Benny, "Oh Doc," my normal voice.
Oh wow! Oh, that's great.
Yeah, because the guy did a wonderful job, but you were imitating people they didn't know.
That's true.
Both of you were, because like Richard Hayden and Billy Bletcher and people like that.
Billy Bletcher,
Ned Sparks. So,
yeah.
I mean, they knew Cagney, they knew Benny, they knew other, but
Right.
Billy Bletcher, I think at least my viewers and listeners know.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying. All right, I'll tell you
Who's
what.
that? Who's
I want to
Billy
get Mike
Bletcher?
out of here in a half hour, and we got two more clips to show, special bonus features from the DVD, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll take our last break, or our third break right now, and we'll show those clips when we come back, and then we'll do your emails, and then Mike can go host his little Jewish matzo ball soup, whatever Seder thing. Take a look at this. We'll be right back.
It's a film
Hold it.
festival.
I think you're going to like this picture.
Welcome back to the golden days of television.
Say, kids, what time is it?
Time to beat the clock.
It's time for Beanie.
Did you say I'll feel better smoking Philip Morris?
Yes, you will feel better. Coughs due to smoking disappear.
Milton Berle.
What made you think it was a lucky strike?
Because it was so round, so fine, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
I really stopped a great career there.
Oh, and I'd do it again. I'd much rather be your wife than amount to anything.
That's Showcast Video at www.showcastvideo.com. Classic television on video since 1979.
This is Jeopardy!
Game show fans, the #1 and #2 syndicated television game shows want to invite you to visit them live and in person. That's right, Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy are videotaped before live audiences at the Sony Picture Studios in Culver City, California, and you're invited to join in on the fun, absolutely free. Visit WheelJeopardyTickets.com for the latest show and free ticket information. Fill out a short form, press a couple of buttons, print your confirmation, and then voila! We'll see you in person at the taping of your choice. Not only that, but WheelJeopardyTickets.com offers priority seating. That means you're guaranteed admission into the studio, provided you confirm your reservations a few days before and arrive on time to take your seats. More details can be found on our website, so visit WheelJeopardyTickets.com and come see your favorite game shows live and in person. That's WheelJeopardyTickets.com.
Noordame.com continues its passionate love affair with Stu's show and the golden age of entertainment. We invite you to check out our YouTube channel and subscribe. Just visit Noordame.com and click on the YouTube button, where you'll enjoy a great selection of movie trailers, old-time radio, and playlists of your favorite novelties from the 1940s through the 1980s. Comedy, drama, and music, it's all here for your viewing and listening pleasure. So from one dame to another, go to Noordame.com. That's NOIRDAME.com, and tell them Janine sent you.
And now, back to Stu's
That's a
show
production
at
shot.
StuShow.com.
That's not in the movie. That's a production still you're looking at, folks. The lovely Sarah Ballantyne, who I think
Yay.
is watching us. We're going to accommodate Mike because he wants to really leave. He's got to drive to Beverly Hills, and it's only about 18 miles from Beverly Hills to Chatsworth, but this is Los Angeles.
And he doesn't have a car.
And it's rush hour.
He doesn't have a car.
Well,
So-
I'm figuring this.
So what we're going to do the emails now, and then we'll start one of the clips, and then we'll take our last break and come back and show the special thing. But Mike needs to set that up before he leaves. You'll do that, right, Mike?
Right, of
You'll
course.
set that both up. So here's the emails. We'll do these right now. For another, no, I got to put the Alan Ludden glasses on.
Okay.
So that's a little bit stronger here. Yeah, the password for you. Eric Grayson, again. Tell Mike when we, meaning he, ran Bride of Finkelstein at a local showing, one person asked me to run the Jewish guys again, and another person said it was anti-Semitic. Go figure.
Well, there you are.
That's Indiana, so that's the land of Mike Pence.
Exactly.
Wow.
Run those Jewish guys again. Hey, that's anti-Semitic.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just recreating it for those of you who missed.
No, but that's the way things are now.
The funny thing is these guys. Neither of these guys are Jewish. Neither of you are Jewish.
No,
Biffle is Jewish.
His real name was Biffelman.
Biffelman. Okay.
From Flatbush.
Schuster is not.
Schuster is not.
Okay, back to me for the next email from Courtney Skinner. We struck a nerve, Courtney. How you doing?
We love Courtney.
As humorous as the lovely Biffle and Shooster are, and as lovely as the Schlesinger is as the director, the Schlesinger, I couldn't take my eyes off those lovely paintings on the walls that seem to occur throughout the films. Where are they from?
They are from Courtney Skinner.
Why did I doubt? What do you want to say about it?
He originally did those for Dark and Stormy Night, one of Larry's pictures, and they were seen so briefly, and I said, we have to use them again. They're so bizarre. The main one, the one you see in every short, is a self-caricature of Courtney. That's Sinus Cavender, which was the main painting in Dark and Stormy Night, and two of the paintings had the eyes cut out, so we were able to reuse that gag for Bride of Finkelstein, where and then the real eyes look out, because you see that in every old Dark House movie.
Yeah, and they add wonderful ambiance, if that's the right word, to the look of the film.
And I mean, I thought that the Cavender portrait, I saw it as sort of like a good luck charm, because it was sort of a link from Larry's films to mine. So I made a decision to put it in every short. In fact, when we were redressing from the first short to the second short, they had a different painting over the fireplace. He says, "You want the same painting again?" I said, "Yes, it's going to be in every short." And he goes, "Okay."
All right, very good. MICHAEL Edwards of Hyde Park, Illinois. As you know, Stu, I'm having a trying time with the passing of my grandfather. Yes, I'm sorry to hear that, MICHAEL. I saw that.
Yes.
So, guys, here's a shout-out from the guys. Go ahead.
We're sorry.
We're
really
okay.
Our condolences.
Yes, but I'm happy to have your show as a safe getaway for at least a few hours. Isn't that nice? My question is directed towards Will, so we'll put the camera on the two. I very much enjoy your Disney voiceover work. See, I told you, Will. And want to ask you what it was like to work on the couple of Winnie the Pooh projects you did. And thanks to all of you for your strong efforts in keeping the legacy of classic entertainment alive. Okay, well.
It was fun. It was more than a couple.
Yes,
that is to say, there was a series called Welcome to Pooh Corner, and working with Hal Smith, the original Owl, and he was filling in for Sterling in that. And I was doing Tigger and Rabbit in that, and singing for Eeyore, and working with Laurie Main. Those two guys in particular we would just laugh and laugh and laugh. It was the most fun I've had on a series, I think, and it was great.
All right.
And then there were other films and things too.
Absolutely. From Elizabeth Massey.
I was just listening to your book, Desper Hollow.
Okay, this is cool, though. We're getting emails from people that I don't recognize. I like that we've got lots of new viewers. And by the way, if you're just tuning in for the first time from the wonderful review we got from Roku Guide Online, welcome. I don't know if they're still with us after the the first hour and a half here, but welcome. And I wanted to thank the people over at Roku Online Guide for giving us such an A+ rating. We got so many new subscribers. I love it. Anyway, Elizabeth, the subject is mustache. Even though we as audience members aren't voting, I vote for Will to shave his mustache and Nick to shave his brows. Yes?
My brows?
Your brows.
Funnily enough, I just got them trimmed today at my
show.
barber. Yeah.
He did that just for the show.
Just for the show.
Well, Will, I'll tell you, if you change your mind, I'll run up and get your razor. The shaving cream is right there. It's in the shot now. Yeah, that's your Jeff Altman imitation of Tom Snyder's eyebrows. I remember that from Jeff's act. You remember? He used to do
that's right.
That's right. That's where that.
I was drinking a Pink Lady at the time.
Oh, brother, here we go. Get that out there, Mark Evanier, who's probably not watching.
Elizabeth, say hi to Courtney.
Wait, say again.
And Courtney, say hi to Elizabeth.
Yeah, wait. Now, okay.
And Courtney,
I can't keep up with these guys.
Elizabeth, say hi to Courtney.
Wait,
and Courtney, say hi to Elizabeth.
Okay.
I don't need to do it on camera.
I don't need to do it on camera.
Okay, all right.
That's disgusting.
I still can't do it. They never give me any. Even with the 3 cameras now, we got the problem. Joel Schlossberg from New Jersey.
Hi.
Mark Bonelli's novel, Sacco and Vanzetti Must Die, envisioned an alternate history in which Nick Sacco and Bart Vanzetti were a silent comedy duo. What other pairs of historical figures who were not a Biffle and Shooster style act in real life do you think would have been a good one if their lives had turned out slightly differently?
Leopold and Loeb.
I was about to say that myself.
How about
Really?
that?
Yeah.
I was thinking of Romulus and Remus.
Okay.
Instead of
Yeah.
founding Rome, they would have found
How about
Hal
Julius
Roach
and
Studios.
Caesar?
How about William Cameron and Menzies?
Yeah, I love that trio.
That trio.
They're terrific. I have all their album.
Okay.
John Scott and
Are we-
Trotter.
Okay, back to me. See, when they give me a pause, I can figure out what camera to go to. Stan Taffel.
Stan!
Hi, gang. At least all of the Stew Nation will now hear more than anyone needs to know about the world of Biffle and Shooster or Nick and Will. Remember, Mike, Schless is more. By the way, Nick, is it true you're the love child of Gene Barry and Debbie Reynolds? What is that supposed to mean?
Class with a capital K. That's
I
what
couldn't
say.
talk any less tonight.
I get a lot of. First of all, I use the name Debbie Reynolds whenever somebody can't think of a name. They're telling me something. I always say Debbie Reynolds.
Oh.
It's something I've been doing for 25 years, and a lot of people for some reason think I look a little like Gene Barry.
Okay.
Not with that hat.
Not with that
but he
hat.
does actually.
Mike, you look like you want to say something.
He looks like Gene Barry.
Oh, see, and when it's time for me to
those
cut to him,
glasses.
he has
Put on
nothing
those
to
glasses.
say.
Wait, where's the glasses? Yeah.
That's good. But whenever he is Debbie Reynolds, he says that's a rap.
Reynolds rap.
Hi,
My name's Debbie Reynolds, and I want to say that I'm. Okay.
All right, I'll give you
My Reynolds rap.
Okay, we got two more, and then we got to get to the clips.
I have a
Mike
two
has
more.
to leave. Mike has to leave. Mike has to
Go
leave.
ahead, go ahead. Okay.
Andrew Gilmore. Andrew, wait, you do a shout out to him. Go ahead.
Andrew.
Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, all right. There's Mike, who just said, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I read an article which claimed that Benny Biffle's real name was Bartok Bifflevich. Biffle.
That was his cousin.
Whatever.
Wow. How did
And
he
that he
spell
didn't
that?
speak English and had to learn his lines phonetically. Is that true? Let's go to that one first.
No.
Okay, thank you. Also, I know this show is simulcast.
But he did have all his lines on a chalkboard, and he
read them
yeah.
phonetically.
Yeah,
Okay.
he couldn't read, but he
Right.
you know,
But he
Yeah.
okay.
yeah, it helped.
Also, I know this show is simulcast. Please help me, somebody. I know this show is simulcast, but for the benefit of people who are only listening to the radio feed, and I only have a couple of hundred of those, most people are watching us today, I should point out that Nick is very good at impressions. Oh, yes, he's been doing them for us all day today, and I didn't know that about you. You are very good. And in fact, he's in the studio by himself right now and has been imitating the voices of Stu, Will, and Mike through the entire show. And nobody, not even Joe Alasky, has been able to do me. He started to do me.
Not even Joe Alasky started to do me. No, I can't
That's
do you
still
either.
too low.
No,
you
it
gotta
is
get,
too-
you gotta
get up here.
You gotta get up balls squeezing high.
Wait a minute.
I think Jay Leno
Let me
could do
just-
you.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, that hurt.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I need another aspirin.
His Stu and Will are dead on, but I think his Mike Schlesinger impression is a little bit off. But that's okay because
Mike's
so
a little
is
bit off.
Mike.
Ah!
That's why we call him Off Mike. And after listening to this show, I wish he were.
Who is this?
No.
This is
That's
Andrew. Your
still
buddy
Andrew.
Gilmore.
Wow.
What, he write a
very
book?
Insulting.
No, I know he wants to write the next Biffle and Shooster short, guys.
Wow.
That's the last time I go see the Hollywood Stars at his stadium.
That's right.
Final email, and then we'll introduce one of the clips, and then you can leave whenever you want. Why don't you leave after we start
the long clip,
the longer
yeah.
one? Yeah.
Okay.
Tom Joyce in Cambridge, Mass, a VIP sponsor of this show. So
Okay.
no screwing around here. Hi guys, I just joined the Facebook page. He just joined the
Yay.
Facebook
All right.
page.
Good, Tom. All right.
I did have to search both Biffle and Schuster to find them.
Okay.
Well, so do the cops
SHOO.
usually. So do the cops.
I tried searching just Biffle, but Facebook kept changing Biffle to Baffle.
They must
I found that biffling. That's what he says here. I'm glad I'm not the only comedian here, or attempted one. I had better luck buying the DVD, which I did weeks ago,
Yay.
based on
Thank you.
Michael's prior appearances on the show, Mike.
Thank you.
Yes, okay.
You were here as Richard Pryor?
Yes, his appearances are some of my favorites to replay as I go to bed.
Wow.
Put you to sleep,
I'm
doesn't it, Tom?
I'm going to take that as a compliment.
All right, okay. They never fail to put me to sleep. There, if I just gone on.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a question for Will and Nick. Will and Nick. Will and
right.
Nick. Will and Nick. Will and Nick.
Which is which?
Okay. Throughout their long career together, did Biffle and Shooster ever disagree on the content of their films? And was there anything that one wanted to include that the other insisted on cutting out?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. No.
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 Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes and no.
Yes.
Yes and no. No and yes.
And no.
got the tail end of Mike yawning.
That's Mike's reaction to most of our stuff.
Last question here, and there's a P.S. Can you talk about their final TV credits as the bartender and doorman on the soap opera Bright Promise? It seemed like a sad ending to an otherwise brilliant career. All right, guys?
No, actually, that wasn't their final one. They did that animated, those pilots, and they did so many pilots became a series.
Al Brodox produced a series of a Biffle and Shooster cartoons.
It was called The Dumb Patrol, and you played pilots.
That's right, we were pilots.
Our ill-fated comic strip.
Yeah.
However, we do have a well-fated comic book
Yes,
that's
we do.
about
That's
to
right.
come out.
That's right. We mentioned that.
We did?
We did,
Okay.
but we didn't.
Indiegogo, starting tomorrow or the next day.
Somebody forgot to bring it. Yeah. P.S. I hope you will consider me an honorary Jew. I wanted to join your group, but your initiation ceremony is ridiculous.
Well, it's the cruelest cut of all.
Yes. Yeah. All right.
Well, you know how it is with us Jews. We want 10% off everything.
That's it.
I believe Shakespeare said the most unkindest cut of all.
That's it.
It's a double superlative.
He said
back
the
to me
kindliest
so I
cut.
can throw it to Mike because he's got to leave momentarily.
Well, no, I'll leave after. You're going to run the short clip first, then
you'll set up the second one, and
then
you'll leave during that,
leave.
and we'll do the last break,
He's
and
still
then we'll come back
directing.
and say goodbye. So I did pretty good. We're a little over 6 o'clock. Let's get to this. These are deleted scenes. This
These
is
are
just
deleted
a little
scenes.
hunk
Is Michael
of.
leaving?
You've got.
Hold on.
He's got to go. This is just. You've got lots of minutes of deleted scenes in the DVD, and you've given us about 2 minutes.
That's more like
That's
4.
like 4 minutes.
Yeah, but no, these are not outtakes or in the normal sense. These are literally deleted scenes. These are things that were cut mostly for time.
Which we've never seen.
We've never seen.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait. You guys
We've
have
never seen these.
Okay.
Well, you saw them when you acted them.
Yeah, but I wasn't looking at myself.
But you haven't seen them.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
Nobody's seen his Me and Bill.
Okay, see,
But
now
you're taking
I'm
off, so
screwing the
we're gonna
camera
say
up again.
goodbye?
They're still
No,
talking.
not yet.
he's gonna
After
introduce the next
Mike
one.
has to go, so I'm just going to roll
Run 'em.
the
Roll
deleted
it.
scenes. About 4
Roll 'em,
minutes
Smokey.
of stuff that didn't make it to the DVD. Have a look. You'll enjoy. You'll laugh. You'll quell.
Quick in here. We'll be safe in here.
Good thinking. Ow! Whoop. Bad thinking. Whoa!
At least I'm thinking. Quick in here. We should be safe in here.
Good thinking. Bad thinking. Whoa!
They must have seen our act.
But what a beautiful theater of the arts this is. Why, look at all the fine furnishings. Look at all the beautiful paintings.
Yeah, look at that painting over there.
Ah, yes. That's what we call a piscatorial work of art.
You watch your language, you brute.
Oh, no, Benny. Piscatorial means of or related to fish.
You mean that was painted with fish?
No, it wasn't painted with fish. Why, do you realize what would happen if you made a painting with fish?
I'd earn scale?
No. If you made a painting with fish, people would be horrified. Newspapers would slam your name. Why, people would stick their fingers in their ears if they heard the words Benny and Biffle uttered in conjunction with one another. Little children, to avoid your presence, would run screaming under their beds to hide with the monsters. And little old ladies would risk their lives to cross the street for the privilege of hitting you upon your worthless noggin with their umbrellas.
Hey, you guys.
Yes, sir?
Here, separate this egg.
What?
Separate this egg.
I'm sorry. Is this a legal separation?
What?
What was that?
She done tore her dress, Unc.
Oh, no. I call this my laughing dress.
It's side-splitting.
That's my Griselda. 1,000,000 laughs. By actual count.
Everything looks delicious, Mr. Schuster. Oh, well, I was a chef for a while, but I had to quit due to health reasons. Oh? Yes, I made everybody sick. I was kidding. You remember me, 1,000,000 laughs.
Hey, you got a radio machine?
Yes, Eddie, we do have one of those contraptions. Is there a particular program you'd care to be listening to?
Well, I heard a couple of bank robbers struck today.
Oh, really? I didn't even know they had a union. Joke. Say, how about a magic trick?
Sure, why not?
Great. Pick a card, any card.
Hey, you got the ace of spades, Unc.
Let's try that again. It's a secret magic trick. I don't know the card you're picking. Pick a card, any card. Don't tell me, put it back in the deck. Aha, all right. What's the name of your card?
6 of clubs.
That's absolutely correct.
How did he know?
And 6 of clubs is a very, very inside joke. If you know the band leader, Jack White, he always did that thing. When he pull a card, I was go 6 of clubs, and the band would go, right! And it would always be anything but the 6 of clubs.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Great stuff. And there's a whole bunch of those. And there's bloopers.
Oh,
and
tons of bloopers.
Yeah.
There's one where, and one thing I learned while we were cutting them was what usually, more often than not, what makes the bloopers funny is not the blown line, but how everybody else reacts to it. And Nick is fabulous at that, because Stan would have one line and he'd keep blowing it over and over and over again, and you just got more and more hysterical.
I couldn't stand it.
Because he just couldn't get this one simple line out.
I was screaming and behind the camera. And you hear me. You hear me in the background.
At one point, he turned to the camera and said, "Did everybody just have a stroke?"
And this is all on the DVD.
This is all on the DVD.
I know you got to run.
Okay.
Set us up for this last clip here. There's a little bit of a backstory here. The guys, Biffle and Shooster, appeared as in a cameo in Mad
They came
World.
out of retirement in '62 to do a cameo, and it's a Mad World, because, as everybody knows, this, I think, is the all-time greatest film, and people say, what happened to their cameo in Mad World? So I figured, what the hell, let's shoot it. So on a Sunday afternoon, we went up not far from here, Woolsey Canyon Road,
Don't give
ironically.
it away.
Yeah, no, I'm not, which is not far from where Mad World was actually shot. And so we shot this deleted scene, which is on the DVD. And while we were there, and while they were in costume makeup, we decided to do a fake interview, like a local TV station had set a camera crew out to film them. And then what happened was,
While we were in hair and makeup.
Yes, but because that scene was cut, it was never used. They just stuck it in the vault and forgot about it. And then we found it all these many decades later. The joke is that it was shot in 16mm Eastman, so now it's completely faded to magenta.
I love it. I love it. And only if you're a film collector. I mean, if you've watched and listened to the show over the years, I lament about all my Bewitched and That Girls and Mary Tyler Moore shows, all this stuff that I have upstairs in the archives. It's all turned beet red.
Yeah.
So explain again.
And so I'm leading with Bill. We're working, adjusting the color, saying, no, take out the less green. Bring up the purple. That's it.
Yeah. So that it looks like a faded Eastman print of this interview.
And I'm really proud of any flash a little bit and put in some schmutz.
And again, you guys have not seen this.
We have not seen this.
They have not seen this, and I think we need to point out that they ad-libbed this whole thing.
This whole thing was ad-libbed, every single word of it. So this is about 10 minutes long. So I assume you're showing the whole thing.
Yes, we're going to show the whole thing, and we're going to say goodbye to you, because you have to go to Beverly Hills and be Jewish.
Michael, take care. Have fun tonight.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
And one more plug.
Yes, give it all out.
The DVD. Order it now. May 22 is when it streets, and it will be a life-changing experience for you.
Yes, like today has been for me.
Right.
Yes.
Michael,
a diaper changing.
Thank you very much.
Stu.
We look forward to seeing you again. We got to do this again when I'm released from the Straight Jacket Society. Thank you again.
All right.
Safe trip, but stay right there till I get the clip started, which I'm going to do right
Mm-hmm.
now. If I can push the right button. And here we go. Here is Biffle and Shooster in their last interview, 1962, after filming It's a Mad World. Mad World.
Okay, we're recording. So what's it like being back in pictures again after all these years?
Oh, all these years? It's only been like a couple of minutes, right?
No, it seems that way. We just did something for Sam Katzman. It was called Rock and Roll Carnival.
Yeah.
We worked with Conway Twitty,
Bagucci,
and Jerry and the Peace
girl.
Peace Packers. What?
Yeah. Oh, Gary and the
Peace Packers.
Gary and the Pacemakers.
Pacemakers.
They used to be in the Beatles.
The Beatles aren't here yet. This is 1963.
Ah, you're right. Then we didn't work with Gary and the Pacemakers.
No, we didn't. No. Who are you? How did you get in here?
Oh, yeah. What's it like working on a picture after all these minutes? It's just the same, except now it's widescreen, which I wish we'd known because we could have had a bigger lunch.
Yeah.
And that's your joke. And
nobody knows that. Can we start again?
Yeah.
Jeez. All right, this is a complete mess. Let's start again.
All right.
Actually, it was hysterical.
I know, it's hysterical for us. It's like, you know.
So what's it like working on a picture after all these years? Well, I'll tell you. Tell them.
Well, we really haven't been out of the business all that much. We just did a commercial for Ajax, you know, Brighter Than Bright. And he'd turn around and say, no, you aren't.
Yeah, I was hoping I'd get to sing the famous song.
Yeah. Yeah, Crosby's like shaking right now.
Yeah. Cheryl Ravenscroft is.
Who?
How is Thurl?
Oh, he's thoroughly fine.
Good.
You got any more questions? When I was a kid, they came with the questions quicker.
You were doing fine. Go on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that Milty kind of talked us into it.
Yeah, Burl.
Or maybe he talked Stanley. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this Stanley guy, he made me shave off the mustache.
Yeah.
Just
The mustache in the last few movies, he had the mustache no more.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And,
so Burl gives us a call and he says, listen, they're getting every comic in Hollywood to do cameos in this picture, this cockamamie picture.
Right.
So we thought, we've got to be in this movie, you know? We've got to be in this. And Burl actually went to bat for us. And boy, he had the bat to go with.
Uncle Abe came through.
Yeah.
When's the last time you were on the same set together?
Oh, when were we on the last set?
That monster picture.
Oh, remember that one? Oh, yeah.
That was good.
That was a good one. It was sort of a science fiction. It was very upscale for the kids.
Yeah.
You know, because they're all smarter than we are now.
And if there are any kiddies watching this interview, kids, don't do this.
Oh! It hurts. After all these years. I don't know.
I still got it.
Yeah, you still got it, and I get it.
Do you guys ever see any of the old people that you worked with in
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
He said, do you guys ever see any of the people you worked with in the past? Yeah, we just had lunch with Edmund Lowe. Would have been nice if he picked up the check.
I thought that was Warren Williams.
No. Warren died a long time ago. Oh. He's passed away a long time ago.
That was Edmund Lowe?
Edmund Lowe, yeah. Edmund Lowe. And it was funny, he started singing Bally High. It was funny getting low from high. Or high from low.
Yeah.
It was funny anyway.
Yeah, I had a hi-fi.
That's right. We got hi-fi.
Yeah.
We're up on all the big things. In fact, we got a call from this kid, Allied artist, Bill Asher. He wants us to do some beach movie. And I'm telling we talked it over. We don't look good in bathing suits.
No, it's ridiculous.
Not anymore, anyway. I had a physique back then.
And that's a Max Sennett thing. We don't do
that.
That was before our film time.
That's right. We didn't have, did we ever make a silent film? I know the audiences were, but not
Still got it. And he still gets it.
Go! See, kids, don't
do that, kids. No, seriously, for the kiddies, don't do this.
Oh, and don't smoke.
Yeah.
Because then you get gravelly voices.
Yeah.
Apparently, you worked for Vitaphone. Did any of those old films survive?
I'm not sure. There was a fire a while ago, and I know we had Shemp Howard on those. Remember that? He supported us in that one.
Somebody was smoking.
Yeah, I think it was Lionel Stander. He's in Italy now, I believe.
Oh, no fooling.
Yeah. He got in trouble with
his toupee.
No. He got in trouble with the House Un-American Activities thing, and he had to go on. Well, no, not anymore. Oh. McCarthy, he's gone. Bergen's doing very well. Bergen's still working.
Yeah.
What makes you
So
laugh?
is Snurd, by the way.
Who?
Snurd.
You should wipe over here. Yes.
What comedians do you like that work today?
Oh, the new kids. Oh, my goodness.
They're all great.
They're all just fantastic.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. And
that other one.
What's his name?
Buttons.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Blue
He's
Buttons.
original.
He's terrific.
Very original.
He's terrific.
Aaron, is that his name?
Aaron what?
Aaron Gobra.
Ah, he's making dirty jokes now. Listen, I really enjoy, what's his name? The guy who worked
what's his name?
with the singer.
Oh, no, what's his name?
Oh, yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
He's good. We don't like anybody.
Yeah. Perry Como.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweaters. Nice.
He did that funny song, too.
Which one was that? Catch a falling thing and put it in a on the side pocket, and you'll never have...
No, the one about the state.
The what?
Not the Pennsylvania polka, the other one.
Yes. The New Jersey Rhapsody.
Yeah,
I believe it was.
What did Rhode Island?
Oh, what did no. What did Delaware? What did Delaware? I don't know, Alaska.
Yeah.
You know that one?
Right. And you, yeah. Yeah. You know what's harder than Wheeling, West Virginia?
What?
Macon, Georgia. Marion, Ohio. We could go on for.
And he does.
Yeah.
What films do you remember making the best?
What?
Wait, what?
What films do we remember making the best? What was our favorite filmmaking experience?
I'll tell you. Go ahead, tell me.
All right. I really enjoyed making Bride of Finkelstein. I don't know if you remember that one. The kids loved that one. They would scream at that one. We worked with a gorilla in that one.
Oh, yeah, the gorilla. Yeah.
That was good. That was a good one.
And Max
Davidson was there. Remember Max? Poor Max. But, that was one. I think that was one of my favorites. That one, and what was the musical one? We were colored.
Banjo Follies?
No. We made those wartime films.
Remember?
Remember? For PRC.
Right. Look out for the Jerrys.
There was one I remember. It was called Torah, where we actually fought Japs, Jewish American princesses. Mm-hmm. And that was a wartime thing.
Yeah.
Do you have any memories of your radio series?
Oh, do you have memories of my radio series?
I got them all on big discs.
That's right.
In the garage.
One of them slipped.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Way back.
Yeah. But so if I want to remember them, I just put them on and play it. But they play from the inside out.
That's right. They do. And remember our sidekick, our famous sidekick?
Well, we had a few.
Mr. Bibble.
Oh,
Mr. Bibble! Here comes Mr. Bibble!
Right.
I will never forget Mr. Bibble. He was a fabulous person.
Right.
He's in the home now. He's in the actor's home.
He had a favorite sandwich, too.
Yeah, I remember.
It was Hold the Mayo.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. Remember we had Virginia Mayo on?
Yeah, right.
We all held her.
Oh,
we all held
that was a good
Virginia
photo
Mayo.
session.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. Listen, I'm hungry.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. You want a sandwich or something?
Yeah, we could eat probably.
Yeah. All right. We'll
is that it?
We'll talk to the craft services. We'll get you something. What do you want?
Yeah.
Tongue.
Pheasant?
I can get you an M.
You go ahead.
An M.
An M?
They're out of M&Ms.
Oh, just an M. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's enough.
Is that good?
Yeah.
That's
really good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Wait. Can we get stuff? Let's talk about Stanley for a second.
Stanley Kramer?
Yeah,
Okay.
complain about it.
All right. Just keep. No, I haven't. So keep going.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Already out there?
Do you have any memories of... I'm sorry, let's start again.
What's it like working with Stanley Kramer?
Stanley Kramer. Tell you about Stanley Kramer. When I first heard that this picture was going to be directed by... You know what this picture's about, by the way? It's about two guys who escaped from prison to help their friend the Smiler. Because he's run off with a bunch of dough.
That's Durant.
So I thought, okay, so Stanley Kramer, he's the guy who did The Men, right? Well,
Yeah.
Right.
The Men
Remember
with
what I
the-
said? We're too young for wheelchairs,
We're
right?
too young for
It was
wheelchairs.
crazy.
That was- yeah.
But Milty talked us into it. So we're doing it, and then I
That was the one with my favorite Marx brother, Brando.
All right. Is that violated an apostrophe? So anyway, wait. Oh no, sorry. Wait. That's it.
You want to be alone?
Yeah, okay. So we find out. Oh, Stanley Kramer.
Right,
I told you about
Stanley
that picture we
Kramer.
did, the 5,000 fingers.
Mr. Dr. Coffee.
Yeah. So my nephew, he's a big fan of John Provost. So we go see it, and I like Jan Clayton myself, and George Cleveland, his old pal. So we go see it, and I spend the whole picture waiting for the dog to show up.
Now, when I understand that, I'll get in touch with you.
John Provost. So, anyway.
My partner.
I'm sorry, what?
Nothing. I said you were very nice.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You're a little senile yourself. Shh. Oh, there's a leak in here. Oh.
God, that was all right.
Oh my! There they are.
If that doesn't get people to buy this DVD,
I give you applause right here.
We never saw that before.
Saw that before, and all ad lib. And
I wanted him to say, "Where's Marilyn Monroe?"
Yeah.
If John Provost,
John Provost is funny enough.
Oh wait! Oh, it's Tommy Reddick.
Tommy Reddick.
Tommy Reddick was the original kid that owned last.
Right. So you got the two kids mixed up.
Yeah, that's great. You got the two kids mixed up.
No, Sammy Schuster got the two kids mixed up.
All right, all of this and much more. Like Mike said, there's more bonus stuff on there than there are shorts on this thing. 5 complete shorts as opposed to incomplete. How would they know? For one thing, and
the Vitaphone,
the Vitaphone short, and this, and lots of deleted
lots
scenes,
of songs,
and
dancing.
bloopers, and singing and dancing for under $20. How can you go wrong? Race over to Amazon. What about
for any price? It's magnificent.
What about the Facebook page we want to mention, and the comic book, and the book? You got the book there, guys?
Right here.
All right, there it is.
Biffle and Schuster's portable
it's
guide
so
to the
much
proper
easier when they're
etiquette.
on one camera. Go ahead. Yes. Okay.
And the comic book, we don't have a copy of it right now.
No.
Yes.
But we just got it in, and it Indiegogo campaign starts tomorrow, the next day.
Right.
Today's
Now,
the 2nd of May, 2018.
Right.
All right. Very good. We're going to take our last commercial break. Stay where you are, guys. We'll come back, and we'll wrap things up. I got a little email I need to read from Sarah Ballantyne
Sarah.
about our friend Marvin Kaplan. Remember?
Yes, my dear friend.
Okay, so we will do that when we come back after this last break. No more emails. We are done. We're going to sign off when we get back. Watch these people who help pay the bills.
Oh, look, another fascinating selection from the book club. Hey, this isn't from the book club.
Indeed, it's not. The official Dick Van Dyke Show book is the definitive biography of TV's most enduring show.
It's good. It's darn good.
So good, you'll want to share it with all your friends.
You might as well know. We read it, we're sorry, we apologize, we loved it.
Packed with rare photos and filled with backstage anecdotes, read the book that's garnered praise from critics in all walks of life.
I've always found the writing to be of the highest caliber.
The result of more than 100 interviews with the show's entire cast and crew, the official Dick Van Dyke Show book is the crowning achievement of author and TV historian Vince Waldron.
He did. He typed the whole thing with one hand.
The official Dick Van Dyke Show book takes you so close to the show's characters, you'd swear they were reading it right over your shoulder.
It had been fairly well mangled.
Let me read by myself.
Go to dickvandykeshowbook.com to order your copy today.
It's time to visit jacklelaine.com.
Celebrating and remembering the legacy of the pioneer of the physical fitness movement in America, BeFit Enterprises continues the tradition with brand new DVD releases of Jack's classic television program from the 1960s. In volumes 1 through 6, sold individually and as a package, you'll get 5 complete programs on each disc to help you look better, feel better, and live longer. Each show contains easy-to-do, motivating, and stimulating exercises, plus nutritional tips, along with special guest appearances by Jack's white German Shepherd, Happy. To order, call toll-free 1-800-328-5225 or visit our website at jacklelaine.com. Look for volumes 7 and 8 while you're there. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. That's jacklelaine.com. Beginning in the 1930s, Popeye the Sailor was a box office champion, more popular than Mickey Mouse. And Betty Boop was the queen of the animated screen. In the 1940s, Superman sent animation soaring to new heights that continue to amaze and inspire. These icons were the product of the great Fleischer Studio and its founder. Now, after 40 years, the full story is told in the exciting new book, The Art and Inventions of Max Fleischer, American Animation Pioneer. Author Ray Pointer has penned a documentary in book form that has people talking. The Art and Inventions of Max Fleischer, American Animation Pioneer, available through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, McFarland Books, and Inkwell Images, Inc., SIMULCAST.com. Once again, here's your host, Stu Showstack.
Mike's on, Mike's on, Mike's on. We were sitting here talking. Back to me. Hello. We got one more email that came in, guys. I'll cut to you while I grab
Milt
it.
Kamen?
The Big Bopper.
No, that's
Not
from,
Milt Kamen?
No, it's not. It's not from
He
Milt
did?
Kamen. God, I'm surprised. Well, you guys would know who he is. It's Greg Airbar, guys.
Jack
Hi,
Kamen,
Greg.
the artist.
Greg Airbar says, listening as I drive on the sparkling freeway. If you're listening, you missed a hell of a lot of funny stuff, Greg. I'm looking at him like he's listening, okay? Purchased my DVD on Amazon.
Yay.
And eagerly awaiting its arrival someday.
And the comic book.
And the comic book, yes. Will there be a special appearance by the Cactus Country Cowboys?
Cactus County Cowboys.
Where, today?
County. No,
Not today.
on the DVD.
Oh, well, yeah, they're featured in the short Schmobo.
One of the shorts, Schmobo.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if he meant today. I mean, Will, if you want to grace us with a 10-second tune,
they're not here.
you can't.
The-
I know.
he's
Well, Mike
asking
has
for the
already
band.
left. See, Mike is gone.
The
Mike is gone.
Oh my God, he shrunk. Mike shrunk.
Oh my.
The incredible shrinking producer.
There's the next
do we do?
there's the next subject for Biffle and Shooster. Oh, here we go.
I don't know.
You want to do
this
something
is?
real quick for us before we sign off?
They called her frivolous Al, a peculiar sort of a gal, with a heart that was mellow, an all-round good fellow was my old pal. Through trouble, sorrow, and care, she was always willing to care. Yes, she was a wild sort of devil, but dead on the level was my gal. Take it, Stu.
My gal Sal, a peculiar kind of a gal.
I can't hear you anymore.
That was my gal Sal. Are we done?
Fading away. We're fading away.
Oh, you're fading out. That's our hidden studio audience.
Yeah.
You didn't. Wow, that's going on for a while. You didn't expect me to sing.
Well, we didn't deserve that.
Yeah, yes, you did. You did indeedy do. Last order of business here is from Sarah Ballantyne.
Sarah
great,
Ballantyne.
And I want to read this
All
for the
the world
folks
is
that are
secretly
local
in love
here
with
in
Sarah
LA.
Ballantyne.
This is kind of nice.
Okay.
It's Looking Up, a film our beloved Marvin Kaplan worked on before his passing. Now, I'm sure, Will, you worked with Marvin at some point.
Yes.
Yeah, in the radio
Actually,
recreations.
Yeah, I think just
Marvin actually wrote a musical and wanted me to star in it,
Yeah.
and gave it to me,
Yep.
and he passed away before we could put it together.
Yeah. You know, he was invincible, it seemed. Yes, he ended up in a wheelchair the
Yeah.
last few years of his life, but I thought he would just go on. You know, he had
Yeah.
so much energy and such a sweet man.
He was a dear man.
So, Looking Up, a film our beloved Marvin Kaplan worked on before his passing. Marvin was working on a film he wrote in which he had a small part when he died. It is called Looking Up. The film was finished under the careful direction of Johnny Creer. The movie stars Steve Guttenberg of Ballers fame and a lot of other work. The Kaplan Loring Foundation is sponsoring a week of showing this movie. If you are a fan of Marvin's work, and who isn't? I mean, if Mike was here, he'd talk about Mad World and that gas station scene. I want to see him in his last role. Of course, he was quite funny and charming. We hope you can join us. This is at the Lemley NoHo Theater, right in your neck of the woods,
Yeah,
Nick, not
I
too
could
far.
walk there.
May 11th through 17th. May 11th through 17th. That's next week, into the following week. 5240 Lankershim Boulevard, North Hollywood, California, 91601. 7:30 p.m. every night, and 2 p.m. matinee Saturday the 12th and Sunday the 13th. And tickets are only $5.
Great! Wow.
Isn't that
I went to
great?
high school with Steve Guttenberg.
Oh, did you really? And that was
He's
in
a year older.
Long Island, New York?
On Long Island,
Yeah.
Massapequa.
All right, really
He did
cool.
the typesetting on this book.
and the Bible.
And that's right, the Gutenberg, the Johann Gutenberg. I
Right.
guess his real name is Johann.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is,
there we
actually.
go.
Yeah.
Guys, I cannot thank you enough.
Stu, what a pleasure.
I am telling you, I am exhausted at 6:30. Normally we do 3.5 hours, and I'm raring to go. I'm going to bed. I am.
And remember, kids, don't do this.
Yeah. We can find Biffle and Shooster on DVD coming out in a couple of weeks. So we can't say that enough. Are you guys?
Indiegogo starting tomorrow, the next day or something, with the comic book.
That's right. And watch for our
Mike
appearances.
Cazala drew it.
And watch for our live appearances at the Coffee Gallery backstage in beautiful Altadena.
Okay.
And various other places.
And various other places. We will put that on social
when we're
media.
both in town at the same time.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I am going to Sacramento at the end of the month to do Singing in the Rain.
Oh, cool. That's great. So that's separate. You're both Biffle and Schuster are not doing.
No, that's Nick Santa Maria. Oh wait, I'm going to Sacramento.
And Nick frequently stars in something weird happened on the way to the
a funny
forum.
thing happened on the way to the forum.
And the nicest touch about this two-shot is the can of shaving cream down in the lower right corner of the screen there. You never did shave his...
wanted to be edgy.
Yeah, edgy.
That's my edge shaving cream because of my sensitive face. And speaking of sensitive, we're going from the ridiculous to the sublime. In 2 weeks, on May 16th,
yes,
show, and you guys will both remember this, on that award-winning series in the 1960s that really should have been on the air a lot longer, Mr. Novak.
Mr. Novak.
James Franciscus and Dean Jagger in the starring role. This is a new book, ladies and gentlemen, written by Chuck Harder, who is a friend of mine who worked about 3 years on this book, getting interviews with the remaining cast members and crew people. If you've never heard of this show, you look it up on Google. This was one of the finest.
Wherever he wants to go, wherever he wants to go, wherever he wants to go.
Yes, we'll follow the old
That's Dean
man.
Jagger in White Christmas. They sing that song for him.
Oh,
and he's wearing a toupee in that one.
Oh, because he's bald as a billiard.
Borrowed from Les Tremaine.
Man, what a great character he is.
He's
you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Dr. Kildare in a high school, because Dr. Kildare was the young doctor, and who was so Raymond Massey was his kindly elderly doctor who watched over, not Dr. Zorba, that was Ben Casey.
Gungadine.
That was Sam Jaffe.
Right.
Ben Casey.
Gungadine.
But this is the same thing. This is young James Franciscus playing an English teacher. You
can't do that operation with a shrimp fork.
This is a no-win situation.
Have you
here.
met my
I can do win.
Show with Chuck will be two of the semi-regulars who played students on the show.
Lionel.
Tony Dow.
Tony Dow
will be here.
He's my Facebook
the best
friend.
man at my wedding to Janine.
Wow.
Tony Dow. You know. Barbara
You're gonna get
Billingsley,
hollered at.
Hugh Beaumont.
I saw him.
Tony Dow.
I saw him starring as Albert Peterson in Bye Bye Birdie.
Did you
Kane
really?
Park
Yeah.
Theater,
I didn't know. Tony never told me about that.
Ooh.
And along with
He'll
Tony,
probably
first
tell you-
time on this show, like these guys, Walter Koenig.
Oh,
who you all know as Chekhov from Star Trek.
We have the same agent.
He really?
Yeah.
Well, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, but Walter's going to be here. This was 3 years before Star Trek. One of the first things he did, in fact, on one of these episodes, he played a Russian exchange student.
Well, he
and
should slow
somebody
down.
at Desi
He should slow down.
Yeah. Somebody at Desi Lu saw him, and that's how he got. I think that's how he got the part on Chekhov.
Hey, if that kid on Gidget could just have a Russian accent.
Yeah.
It's the same guy.
Yeah, wow.
Anyway, that's on May 16th. 2 weeks from today. I'm going to get a 2-week rest from these guys here.
Ask him if he can sing like Davy Jones.
Yes, all right.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Novak will have lots of clips. We'll talk about this great book, which you should get immediately. I'm trying to talk over them, and as Judge Judy says, nobody talks over me. What do you got? Hold the Biffle and Shooster book up again. There it is right there, Biffle and Shooster. I'm looking at the monitor. I'm
and the
looking
comic
everywhere
book.
today. And the comic book.
We don't
Biffle
have.
And Shooster
It's so
comic
rare.
book. But 2 weeks from today, we'll be talking about Mr. Novak. We'll have lots of clips. Look it up. They had tremendous guest stars. Our buddy Ed Asner was a guest on one of the shows. It's a fantastic
I like Kim Novak.
program, and we're going to have a fantastic program here celebrating
Kayvon backwards.
the book, and hopefully the release through the Warner Brother archives
Nick
of Mr. Novak.
Kayvon.
That's supposed to be coming. Will Ryan, Nick Santa Maria, wave goodbye to your public. They probably already tuned out, but in case they're not, oh, look at this. I'm getting seasick. Okay, very good. See what you're missing if you're listening to us. Hit the theme. And I say thank you for tuning in.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you for putting up with these guys and with Mike Schlesinger.
Don't do
And I
this.
hit my magic
Try
button.
this.
And I
this.
say one more
Do this.
time,
We're
thank
back.
you for the emails. Thank
Don't
you for
break the
sticking
mic.
with us. Have a great couple of weeks. And
Thanks for
goodbye.
watching. Goodbye, everybody. Bye.